No, I haven't watched it. Testing, one, two. Testing, one, two. Okay. They can hear me, but they can't hear my chat.
But is he majority
There we go.
Spanish or something?
They should. Chuck, what's going on, Chuck? You should be able to hear Captain Bay and Ghost Dog.
Anybody that's like on Twitch, it's always Hispanic.
What's going on, Chuck? You should be able to hear Captain Bay and Ghost Dog. Maybe not.
What? What did you say?
Maybe not. I don't know why it's not coming through. I'm trying to get y'all to come through. They can hear me. I don't think they can hear y'all. Let's. Yeah. It says that it's coming through. I will fix it. Let me drop the link real quick. I gotta always remember to change this where is Abdo? There we go. Let me go ahead and drop this in all the relevant places. Oh, I'm on Discord. Hold on. And now I got to figure out how to get this working everywhere. They still can't hear y'all. There we go. Let's go back to Captain Bay and Ghost Dog.
Hello, chat. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
I can hear Captain. He's low on your stream.
Oh, you can hear him?
Barely. He was super low.
Oh, let me turn.
I would assume I was low too.
Low.
How about now?
Oh, you can hear him?
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low.
Captain, stop singing. I can probably hear better.
What?
You heard me.
Okay, y'all can hear him? Good.
I can hear him now.
Cool.
Nice, nice.
Okay, and I want y'all to be able to see them now. So hold on, let me see if I can get them.
It may change. The dimensions may change once Abdo gets in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
If Abdo gets in here.
Window capture.
Done. What are you doing, Abdo?
Yes, Discord. There we go. So y'all should be able to see them now.
I see me.
There we go. And we got it. We're trying to get Abdo as well. But for those who don't know, this is Captain Bay right here. This is Ghost Dog, top right. They are some great YouTubers. You should definitely check them out. We're trying to encourage Captain Bay to start streaming again, because we believe in his content.
I will.
So today we're going to be discussing episode 3 of Secret Invasions. We may also discuss Deadpool and the the set links and all the great Easter eggs that are coming out of it. We may also discuss Kevin Feige and X-Men being added to the MCU as well. And Mission Impossible comes out this Thursday, so I might be going to see that as well. And whatever else Captain Bay and Ghost Dog want to discuss, we can discuss. So let's hop on in it. But first, let's welcome Ghost Dog and Captain Bay, of course. Make them feel special, guys, and give them a sub if you don't mind. Where's my clapping? There we go. And welcome Chuck, Stephanie, Jody, and the other black man to the chat. So, Captain Bay, Ghost Dog, what are your thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Secret Invasion so far? How are you feeling about it?
Cap, I'll let you go first.
Okay, I was like, I don't know if you want to go or you want me to go. I've been enjoying it. You know, it's kind of been more. I mean, even though it's obviously about like scrolls and aliens and stuff, it feels more down to earth, if that makes sense. It's not as like crazy and just out there. It feels more grounded and just a good old spy thriller, which feels very much like Captain America, kind of Winter Soldier vibes, is what I kind of get. And of course, it's good to see Nick Fury back. We haven't had him in a prominent role in quite some time, so it's good to see Samuel L. Jackson back out there.
Okay.
Him and Talos, I can't remember the actor's name. I think their chemistry, they've always been good, like throughout the Captain Marvel movie, and then in this so far. I think them, whenever they're both in the scene, they crush it every time. But yeah, I'm liking the way it's been going so far.
Okay, and Ben Mendelsohn is as Talos. Mendelsohn, yeah, that's the actor for Talos.
That's the one.
To be honest, I kind of agree with you, Cap. I kind of feel like this could have been a movie though. Like I felt like
Yeah. That's true. That's fair.
the budget for it, like it's a great show, and I think it's gonna do great as a show. I think this is already my second favorite show behind Loki. And maybe What If, but you can go back and forth with those. But I felt like this was definitely more of a movie, but I felt like they wouldn't have been able to tell the story they wanted to tell as a movie versus it being a show. But it's definitely smaller in scale, and I felt like it's definitely going to have a lot of unresolved issues left after the season ends, because I feel like they're not going to be able to address everything in the 6 episodes.
Episodes is not going to be enough to cover it all, but I think this is going to be a prelude to Secret War. Is it Secret Wars? The one
Armor Wars?
Armor Wars, yes. Armor Wars.
Oh, Armor Wars.
Coming up soon as well. There's been a lot of, so for the first 3 episodes, we've seen, Fury come back to Earth. He definitely looks a lot older. And
Yep.
He feels a lot more less Fury-ish until he starts doing, his secret spy things that he's done. A lot of people have touched on, is Samuel L. Jackson, are there 2 versions of him? So one potentially being a Skrull and one potentially being the actual real Nick Fury operating on both sides to help him get things done faster. Some interesting things that they've talked about. I'm like, that seems a little far-fetched for me. But, overall, the storyline is great. The conversation between all the characters have been awesome. It's kind of sad that we already lost what I felt was a pretty pertinent role in the MCU with Heel being killed off already. Spoiler.
You think she's dead? You don't think she is? I'm about to say, you don't think she is?
Of the ones that have died, I think she's the one that is dead. There's a couple, like almost all the rest, I feel like could still come back. Like Ross, we don't know where the real Ross is. We just know that there was a Skrull version of him that died in episode 1,
Right.
and then Talos's daughter.
Gaia?
I feel she might actually be Gaia.
Gaia.
Yeah. I don't think she's gonna be gone, because I feel like you don't cast someone like Emilia Clarke for 3 episodes.
No, plus they show her in other,
like, she's
other
gotta be. Oh, okay. I didn't consider that. I haven't looked back at any of the trailers or anything, because that makes sense if there's scenes that we're seeing. I mean, unless that was just, they put that in the trailer and they didn't use that footage, because they do that a lot.
Yeah, well, see, they have been known to do that, like make fake scenes and put them in the trailer.
That could be a misleading thing. But yeah, again, like, I think it's Emilia Clarke. You don't cast one of the biggest actresses from Game of Thrones, one of the most popular shows of all time, to play a role that's, I mean, kind of a minor role in 3 episodes of a 6-episode series. Like, she's got to come back.
I kind of agree.
But for Maria Hill, I think sadly we have seen the last of her. I think she might be gone.
Yeah,
Okay. I want to touch on something. I think Ghost Dog, you said it, like Nick, there's two different versions of Nick Fury, one with his glasses, one with him without the
those
glasses.
are theories that I'm hearing, that you're hearing out there.
Yeah.
Like two versions. One with the glasses and one without the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Although I just feel the glasses are a way that Nick Fury uses those glasses for. I don't think he actually uses them for real seeing. Like he doesn't need him to read a book
Mm-hmm.
or he doesn't need him to read a sign. I think those glasses have like basically technology.
They're like an Iron Man mask. They have like
yeah, or like the Eve glasses.
That's what these do actually, and
Yeah.
I've got stuff that I'm watching.
I kind of agree because if you watch the first episode, when Nick first comes down out of the space station, and I don't know what it's like to be in space, but he had a limp. In certain scenes, he has a limp, but in other scenes, he's walking regularly. So maybe y'all might onto something with that.
That could just be. I mean, he hasn't been back on Earth in a long time. I'm sure gravity is feeling a little bit different from when he was in space. So
Artificial
couple
gravity.
steps probably is like, oh, I forgot what that feels like.
Yeah, I
That's how I
agree.
feel every morning when I wake up and try to walk out,
Try to
get out of my bed. I'm like, oh, how do I do this?
Okay, let me ask you a question about this. Like, what do y'all think about the DNA they've been collecting, the scrolls for, like, for
that's
super scrolls?
interesting because if you paid attention in episode 3,
Mm-hmm.
Gravit already showed one of the abilities.
Yeah, extremists. Yes.
Yeah, he showed the extremist. So the original comic book story of Super Scrolls was that the Super Scrolls had gathered and harvested the DNA of the Fantastic Four, therefore giving the tough skin like Thing, giving the incinerate ability like Johnny, giving the invisibility from
Mr. War. Yeah.
and the stretch ability from Mr. Fantastic. Well, we technically haven't had the Fantastic Four in the MCU yet. So they had to rewrite the story a little bit to make that fit, right? So we have the stretchiness of Groot.
Ironic. Ironic.
The extremist, which we've seen already be performed by Gravit. How you say his name?
Gravik.
Gravik. Yeah.
Yeah, Gravik. And
A hard
then
K down at the end.
yeah. So then also we're waiting to see like invisibility and the rock hard skin, which if you they showed it on a breakdown.
Yeah, there
when
was
Gaia was when Gaia was
close up of
looking.
it.
Yeah, if you look at it in slow motion, you can read that each one of those things were discussed.
Okay, and I want to show my chat what we're talking about. Give me 1 second, chat. Actually, I don't even know how to do it now, but it's funny you mentioned that though, Ghost Star, because I feel like they're going to rewrite the story, and Saber, right? I feel like they're going to send up kids, the Fantastic Four, to the space station, and they're going to get their powers from the Super Scroll. That's a theory I heard.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a way that they got.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so I would love to see that. I don't know if that is going to happen, but we're missing. Well, we got Mr. Fantastic stretchy ability from Groot. We got Johnny Storm Extremis from the heat. We got Thing maybe from that Frost Giant.
They got Cole's skin.
Yeah.
Cole
Okay.
Obsidian.
Yeah. Then who's the invisibility? Who goes invisible in the MCU?
They showed it. I have to go back and look.
This is what we're talking about, chat. By the way, this is like everything we're talking about, like the Frost Beast and.
So when I originally
The
saw
Frost
this
Beast.
post,
Crap.
Ice of the Frost Beast
The ice.
to kind of give the invisibility or light bending capabilities.
Okay.
The ice. I never actually. That's a good call. I never thought about that. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting. I would like to see that. But before we go on and dive deeper into the abilities of the Fantastic Four, if Gaia isn't dead, how is she going to come back alive? Because we didn't see her get into that little thing that Gravik got into. So how could she still be alive? Like, do y'all have any theories? Did y'all hear anything? What?
No, didn't have any theories or heard anything. Just
Yeah, it's just my own personal opinion.
One outside of like seeing additional things from like the trailer, which, like we said, Marvel's real good about showing you something that's not actually going to be a thing.
Right, but they have cast big actors in roles and haven't heard from them again. Like, for example, Christian Bale, he only got one movie, and then we got the original Bruce Banner. That guy, he only played in one movie, so it's not uncommon for them to have a big actor and use that to get people's interest. Because everyone watches Game of Thrones except me. I'm not really a big fan. I heard terrible things about season 8.
I gotta go. See you guys.
I'm sorry, but maybe I'll give it a chance. But I wouldn't be surprised if they was like, 3 episodes is fine. We got everyone we want interested in it. So why do we need her to keep going? But how are they going to fill that void? Because she was kind of like a double agent for Nick Fury and Talos, and they don't really have that anymore.
Which in this episode was when she got flushed out, because Gravik had thought he knew somebody was, feeding information to Talos, but he wasn't sure who. And then he had a suspicion that it might be Gaia.
Yeah, and then he leaked that information in front of only her, and then sure enough, it got out, and that's how he knew it was her.
Yeah.
Sorry, but okay, makes sense. Let's start. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure my chat can see what we're seeing. We'll put this down here for now, and we'll close this. And there we go. Stephanie says, I was thinking it was her dad, and it was really her with Fury. I don't know if can Skrulls impersonate Skrulls, other Skrulls, and their identities.
They won't necessarily. Well, they won't necessarily impersonate another Skrull, but they can impersonate the other identities.
I think it's interesting that they can't impersonate powers, because another thing that's come up in this story, like why haven't they just called in the Avengers? And I think Nick addressed it. He said they don't want, for them to come in and have them thinking they're Skrulls, because Skrulls can't impersonate powers.
Yeah. They can impersonate looks and powers, yeah. Well, no, they can't impersonate powers.
No, they cannot.
They can impersonate the look and the feel. So like their skin adapts to clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably would adapt to like an Iron Man suit. Why wouldn't it be able to copy an Iron Man suit?
But that's funny you say that, because I was watching a video and someone said there was in the first Captain America they had like a diamond on their, or some kind of crystal on their body, and they can replicate clothes from that. But I do want to touch on that. I feel like as a Skrull, you shouldn't be able to copy someone's outfit, just their look. Like an outfit is not a part of their body, so why would they be able to copy it, right? So why they shouldn't.
It's their skin that copies. So like how the Fantastic Four's outfits can adapt to their abilities. Fading.
I actually thought that was a part because Reed Richards created a special clothing for that. That's why.
So this will probably be some along the line of their special clothing that can adapt
to
what they need to adapt to. Think of it as like Mystique. Mystique can, when she shapeshifts, she can shapeshift and do the clothing as well.
Right. And Captain
Mystique confirmed to be a Skrull.
Yeah, exactly.
Did y'all saw episode 3, right?
Yeah.
Who was on the call at the end of the episode 3? Was that who I think it was?
What I've been hearing was people saying that it was Rhodey.
I've been hearing Rhodey too, and my question is, if it is Rhodey,
so it's somebody. It could be somebody impersonating Rhodey.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. It could be someone impersonating Rhodey
at some point.
Yeah.
Before the season started, or during the season, Rhodey may have been taken, and they may have him locked up somewhere, and whoever's now portraying him is a Skrull.
Yeah.
Infusing themselves into getting themselves into a certain line of power.
But I mean, my question is, let's say Rhodey is a Skrull. When did he become a Skrull? Because I'm going to say this, and maybe no one's going to really probably agree, but if they make Rhodey a Skrull from the entire time he was, Tony's partner, all the way back to, Iron Man 2, that's going to underrail his entire character development, and it's going to ruin the character and not make it as impactful.
Yeah, I think you could say the same thing with Agent Ross too. Like, how long was he a Skrull? Like what he did in Black Panther, like that was substantial. He was a key factor in them winning the battle at the end of the movie. And then
that's true.
He's had some other important scenes in Captain America: Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Civil War. He wasn't in Winter Soldier, I don't think.
He was in Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War was when we first met him, actually. So it's like, how long has he been a Skrull as well? Same kind of thing. Like, if he's revealed, he's always been a Skrull, then like you look back at all this stuff, like, well, then why was he doing all this? Like, just so yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. I hope we get answers to that. I hope it doesn't end these last 3 episodes and just be like they don't tell us, or it is that they've just always been. But like it already feels kind of like with Agent Ross, they're not gonna explain that because it seems like they've moved on. He died, and then they just went right past it.
Well, it could be the fact that that wasn't the real Ross, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The real Ross.
I don't think Ross.
Supposedly
Ross is probably sitting in Wakanda somewhere.
I don't think
Yeah,
Ross
probably
died though. Like I thought the other guy died. I don't think Ross died. I think he got away.
No, it was Ross.
Ross
He shot the guy. He shot the guy that was battling him, and then there was the big chase scene that ended up being Talos that was chasing him. And remember, he jumps from one roof to the next, and he doesn't make the jump, lands, and crashes in front of the car. Maria Hill gets out of the car. Talos reveals himself, and then he dies on the ground in between them and turns into a scroll.
Yeah, and okay, and you know what's funny? I actually thought that at the end of Black Panther 2, Ross went to Wakanda because he kind of was on the hunt for intrusion. So I don't even think he's in America right now. Like, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean a scroll didn't catch him beforehand, and they took over his look and enough of his memories to
impersonate him.
move on. Yeah.
I wish there was a way that they can invent something in the show where we can tell who is a scroll and who isn't, because right now the only person I know is
For the green.
right. Well, I mean, it's not even that. Like, the only person I know for sure that isn't a scroll, that I'm 100% sure, and I'm even second guessing myself on that, is Nick Fury. Everyone else could be a scroll. Literally, every single person.
Yeah.
So
How
I'm
many
just.
of y'all were blown away by Nick Fury having a wife?
Oh, and I was. And
I was like, wait, what?
I was like, wait, what?
and my question is, does Nick Fury know his wife is a scroll? Because we know.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the
So,
beginning of episode
beginning
3,
of
they had
episode
a
2.
conversation, and
No, it was beginning of episode 2
Was that 2?
that he knew. He met her in episode 2 as a scroll.
He met her in episode. No, she switched back into her human form before she met him. But then their conversation at the beginning of episode 3.
Very, very beginning of episode 2, when they introduced Gravik when he was a kid. She introduced Gravik to Fury then.
I don't know.
Was that her?
That was her.
I don't think Fury knows. I think he may suspect her. Let me tell you why I don't think he knows. Because if he knew, why does he feel the need to change back into her human form before he got in the house? Because before he got in the house, she was cutting cucumbers as a scroll, and then he came in and she changed. So it's like, why would she feel the need to change? Like, he knows she's a scroll. You don't need to be a scroll, right? Like, why change it back into a human if your husband knows that you're a scroll? I think she may be a double agent. That's why he looked at that phone for such a long time, right?
That it could be, just for some fact that also now you got her working with whoever this is on the other side of that voice.
Mm-hmm. Stephanie says now they talked about it. Yes, you look to me. I have a second
It
channel.
was in episode 3. They talked about it in episode 3, and he straight up was saying, like, he knows. It was very clear. I thought that he knew she was a scroll.
Okay. I just feel like this show has me.
I need to rewatch this scene. Let me pull up Disney Plus real quick.
I'm about to say, it has me question everything because I don't know what to believe right now.
Right.
Like, I feel like I'm lost.
I think that's a good thing about the show. It's like, it's not, so going back and not like throwing shade at any shows, but like some shows are a lot more predictable. And for me, the one that so far of Disney Plus that was the most predictable was Captain America and Falcon.
Captain America.
Falcon and
Sam Wilson.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, boss. I couldn't remember the show either.
Whatever the order. That one to me has been like the most predictable one, because like I literally, like, as we were doing it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen, and it did. This is gonna happen, and it did. But this one's just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's kind of gives me that WandaVision and Loki feeling of just like, where the heck is this gonna go next? Like, obviously we know there's a Super Scroll plot here of what's gonna happen there, but like, who else is gonna be revealed as a scroll? Like, what's gonna be the result of the end of this? Like, we're gonna see scrolls past this show, I would assume. I don't think this show's gonna end and then we're done with scrolls. But I don't know. Let's see.
Well, I feel like this show is going to have a bigger impact than we think it is, because I feel like because of this show, every movie coming out after this show, we're going to be wondering, like, are they a scroll?
Are they a scroll?
Are they a scroll?
Yeah, and then it actually makes you wonder, because I'm going to assume this. I feel like Marvel isn't going to touch Infinity War or Endgame, so I don't think any scrolls were in those movies, because
But you can't say that, because they've been around since technically the 1990s.
Since the beginning.
1995, right?
Yeah.
And if they were
Whenever
Captain Marvel,
Captain Marvel first was the timeline for that.
yeah, I'm assuming it was since 95, but if that's the case, I have other questions. Why didn't they intervene in the first Avengers 2012, like when they had the alien invasion?
Well, because we've seen them in Far From Home.
Yeah, the Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, that was Spider-Man. Yeah, when Mysterio. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were there, and was that Nick Fury? You know, obviously Talos was playing Nick Fury. His wife was playing Maria Hill as the scroll portions of them. And so, how long were they there? Were they there for, you know? Were they there for much after that?
I feel well. I think it was nice how they explained how Nick Fury got to become the director. That was nice to see because let's be for real. Like I was always wondering, like, how did Nick Fury become Nick Fury? Because in Captain Marvel, he was just your average Joe and had a plan.
He was just. And
he had this scroll underworld basically that was feeding him information to rise up the ranks, basically.
Yeah, so I think that was nice that they explained that, and I feel like it's nice to see Nick Fury vulnerable because in a lot of the movies we've seen him outside of the Winter Soldier, he looks like this unstoppable force. Like he always gets his way. He has a secrets on secrets, so it's nice to see him vulnerable and questioning. Because when Talos made him say, I ain't nothing without you. You need my help. I was like, that's very humbling for Nick Fury. He would never say some stuff like that. So. We'll see. But do you think this show should be bigger than what it is? Like,
I don't think 6 episodes is enough.
It's not. I felt like it should have been 9 episodes.
Minimum 9, maybe even 12, because they could go so much more into detail of the story. But I think this, like I said, I think this is just leading into the next phase of Marvel, along with having Kang, and that's the case. I don't.
And I'm glad you brought up Kang. Captain Bay, tell me this: do you think Kang is involved in this story in any way, or do you think he's on his own? Like, because Kang has been quiet.
I haven't thought of Kang at all for this show. I don't think he's gonna be involved, unless there's some alternate version of Kang that somehow ends up being role or something. But I don't think so. But going back to before, like we were talking, I just went back and watched the clip I was thinking of. There's the flashback scene at the beginning of, or right after the credits of episode 3, when Nick Fury flashes back. It's 1998. He goes to a diner. He meets with his now wife, and she slides him a note that's saying this should put Dreykov's men on their heels or whatever. So they'll tie into Dreykov's and the Black Widows. And then he says, this new face of yours is, and then she goes, beautiful, and he then just laughs. And so that's basically like, oh, he knows that that's not her normal face. Like she's taken over someone else's body. So I think that confirms he knows she's a Skrull. Okay,
but if that's the case, do you think he knows that she is, a double agent? Because she was
I think it is definitely he is suspicious of it. That was that linger look at the phone.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Are you the? How do I know you're the same? And then she's just like, I became myself while you were gone, and blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it's definitely he is suspicious. And then the way the episode ended, obviously, like we know that it appears she is a double agent right now.
Okay,
yeah, at least the way it appears, yeah.
But as for the Kang stuff, yeah, I haven't seen anything, or I can't think of anything that would really be a way to tie Kang in, but you never know.
Well, Kang has been silent. All has been silent on the home front from Kang since Ant-Man and Quantumania. He wasn't mentioned in
because Kang hasn't exactly, I guess, infiltrated this timeline yet.
Okay.
Whereas Quantumania could have let the Conqueror Kang through. But
yeah, we don't know technically what happened to that, where that King went yet.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of sad that he's supposed to be the next big bad and he got beat by Ant-Man. So
yeah,
I feel like that to be honest, a lot of the movies in Phase 4 and the start of Phase 5, if it wasn't for Guardians of the Galaxy, Phase 5 would have had a grim outlook because Ant-Man Quantumania wasn't good to me. It was it was such a let down. There was so many things that were just like, okay, what are you doing with this? Like,
it was one of those, like, I was trying to force myself to say that I liked it, that I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. And then I saw then Guardians 3 came out. I'm like, oh, this is what a good MCU movie looks like. That's right. Okay. Yeah, Ant-Man's pretty bad. And then seeing the way that they wrote the what's his name in the Guardians, the bad guy.
The High Evolutionary.
High
Yeah.
Evolutionary. Like seeing how his characters was his character was written compared to how Kang was written in Ant-Man 3 is just like this clearly just was way off, and Kang should have been written just as good as he was.
I agree.
Like he was a much more menacing villain.
Right, and then the whole thing with MODOK, I felt like they phoned that in.
Man,
They phoned that in. They didn't even try.
When they that was like one of the cheesiest parts of the movie, because when I seen it and I thought about it, I was like, this better not be who I think it is.
And lo and behold, it was.
I saw it early, but like before I saw the movie, I had been seeing like the clips. You know, obviously like we see him in the trailers and everything, and I'm just like, that looks fake.
Right, it looked terrible.
Like,
The CGI was horrible.
Didn't look good.
Right.
Like, he looked cool when like his mask was down and whatnot. I'm like, that looked cool. But when they took the mask up, I mean, and it's not like it's an easy character to make look natural. Like, I get it. It's a weird character in general. So like, what are you gonna do? But I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't look good.
It rubbed me like I like Jonathan Majors' performance as Kang. I think he did a good job, but MODOK to me, I felt like he could have been more than what he was. Like I felt like he could have been one of those villains that, you know, well, kind of like Loki, always around menacing and things. And look what happened. The CGI was terrible. I want to show my chat. I'm pretty sure they're aware of it. Let me try to pull it up so my chat can see real quick. Do y'all? This is what I'm talking about, chat. Like this is MODOK. This is the direction they took. This is him with his mask down. This is him without his mask. Horrible.
I am looking at your screen and I don't see anything.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Hold on. I didn't press OK. There we go. Oh, hold on. I thought it was coming up. It says it's showing up, but hold on. There we go. You can see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
This is MODOK. This is what they did to one of the greatest villains in all of Marvel. Like this is just horrible.
Like, they could nightmare fuel right there.
Right, like that is just, you could have did better with that. Especially from Marvel. Marvel's starting to go the route of, what do you call it? DCEU in my opinion. Like
so essentially they made him a villain twice.
Right. They just reused it. Like when they first announced that, you know, Yellow Jacket became MODOK, my initial thought was, why? Y'all, there are tons of actors out there. Why are we using this guy again?
It made sense for how, like, what happened. Like he was sent there, and then they decided to have this last movie be there as well. And like even the way that they shrunk him, like his head was the last thing I think that shrunk in the first movie when he went. So I don't know if that was always the plan then, or what. But it's still, it's just like we didn't. It didn't need to be him. Like no one was asking. Oh, we need to get him back. He was great.
I mean, I think he's a good actor, but we didn't need him as MODOK.
They should have had a different MODOK.
I kind of agree, but what would you recommend how they fix that? Like, do you think they should, you know, maybe create something new or continue with what they have? Like redo MODOK or just leave it as it is? I feel like he's not done.
MODOK. I don't think he's a big enough character, big enough like well known, and definitely based on like that movie, I don't think they're gonna be like, oh, we had a lot of people that really liked MODOK, let's bring him back. Like I don't see that he'll come back other than that role.
I kind of agree. I definitely agree. And since you brought up Guardians of the Galaxy, what did you think of Adam Warlock?
For something that was supposed to be so major plot to the Guardians, very little screen time.
I kind of agree. And to be honest, I felt like they didn't even need him in the movie.
No, and James Gunn even came out himself and said that weaving Adam Warlock into this movie was the hardest part about the movie. Just because the way that they ended up going with it, he didn't really have a role to play. And it did feel like a waste of an introduction of a character because we didn't really get much of it. I think the scenes that he was in, he was fine, you know. He did a good job. I think the actor's going to be fine moving forward. So I hope that we see more of him down the road, because he's a very powerful character, and obviously, like, from the comics, he's a huge character in like the Infinity Gauntlet run. From what I've seen, I'll say from what I've seen, like, I've never read comics or anything, but I've watched a lot of videos, and every time he comes up, everyone is always saying that and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I guess he's important. So I'd love to see him do some major things down the road. But definitely was a bit of a fumble adding him into this movie the way they did it.
I kind of agree, because I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I had a great time with it. But there were times I totally forgot he was in the movie. Like,
Yes.
I totally forgot. Yeah, I forgot.
Like, oh yeah,
Right, he just, here comes Adam Warlock. Hey, I forgot you were here. What are you doing? How everything? And then,
you're the reason Rocket's almost dying in the first place.
Right. And then, like, he seemed like he was having this internal struggle with his mom, and they never really exploded. Like, when his mom died, I felt like he was like, oh, okay, well, anyway, let me become a guardian and guard the galaxy. I was like, he really had no character development to me, and I felt like his backstory should be a show.
I mean, literally, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 ended with the Easter egg of the cocoon.
Right.
Like,
and
how do
You're
you
saying I
not
can name him Adam?
Yeah, and you're not gonna go more in detail about that.
Right.
Like, I get it. We wanted to delve into Rocket's story with the High Evolutionary, but I don't know. I just felt like maybe they changed direction on the movie. Like, in the 2 was like, okay, we're gonna go this route, and it's like, you know what? Hold on. Since this is gonna be the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, we got to talk more about Rocket. I keep fading in and out. I don't know why, but we should talk more about Rocket. And I'm like, well, here's the thing: you guys could have did the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, had the whole Adam Warlock storyline, and then did Rocket story as a separate movie or a Disney Plus show.
Oh no, I don't know if you can make that. I don't know if you can make that a show. I don't know if you can make that a show.
They can make anything a show.
They can. I don't think you should, though.
It doesn't mean they should.
Right, they can. I don't know if you should.
Here's the thing about a show: you can go into more depth if you want on a show than sometimes you can in a movie, because of the movie. After so long, people start losing interest in your movie.
So I was watching a video, and the guy was talking about how, like, when we first were introduced to Disney Plus and what the plans were with, like, Marvel and the shows, was that the Disney Plus shows were going to be shows based off characters that we've already met, and we're just going to explore other storylines that they haven't been able to put into movies, and that's really what we saw for the first. Yeah, and so either the Rocket thing or even Adam Warlock at this point, we've been introduced to him. We could get a show based on Adam Warlock now, but that's where, like, in the newer shows, it's like, oh, now we're getting spin-offs of Disney Plus shows, like we're getting Agatha. It's like, do we really need an Agatha show though? Like, yeah, her character ended up being really popular, and like, it's like, oh, this song is a bop. Like, let's make a show now about her. Like, I don't know. I'm questionable about how that show's gonna be.
Yeah, I do. Well.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I felt like the minute Disney Plus was announced and they announced that they're going to be making Marvel shows, my initial thought, and you can ask my chat this, I said they're going to oversaturate the market with Disney shows. Yeah. And they're going to make a bunch of shows that no one wants to see. For example, I'm not saying I wouldn't want this show eventually down the road, but no one asked for an Echo show. No one asked for that.
I've heard that one actually is iffy right now. I don't know if that one's going to happen.
Right. And Agatha, I mean, it's intriguing, but we don't need an Agatha show.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
I'm going to make a very, very 1990s reference. Remember when No Limit?
Hey, I was alive in the 90s too.
I got you. I'm just saying because Lefty's a host. Remember when No Limit Soldiers first hit the market?
Right. I remember that.
And it felt like every month they dropped a new CD.
Yes, I remember that. It was too much.
Oversaturated the market to the point of you didn't want to buy or listen to any more No Limit Soldier CDs. And I think that's Disney Plus isn't careful, or Marvel isn't careful. That's where Disney Plus will end up making the Marvel movies and shows going forward. They'll oversaturate the market to the point of you're like, ugh, another one.
Right. And I don't want to come to a point where you have to watch a show to understand a movie. And so far that hasn't happened, but I mean, it kind of has happened because of Miss Marvel. I guess
that's what I was about to say. Miss Marvel is kind of going to be the first one. No, actually, Doctor Strange. Was the first one.
Yeah, and then don't even get me on that. That movie was horrible.
If you hadn't seen WandaVision and you just went right to that movie, you're just like, wait, what kids is she talking about? Like, what is going on?
But not even that. The director even said, I didn't watch WandaVision. He said that. The director, Sam Raimi said, I didn't watch WandaVision. They basically undone everything she did, because at the end of WandaVision, she was kind of good and she was just looking for her kids. And in this movie, she was just a villain. She came out of nowhere, just being evil. Like,
well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it was that, like, they definitely wrote her into, like, she was using the Darkhold at the end of the show, and like it definitely ended kind of on a dark tone there of her like, oh, I'm gonna use the Darkhold to get my kids. But like, and then they did turn her into a villain very fast.
Yeah.
I think it was just to prove like how quickly the Darkhold works on you. I guess I don't know.
My thing is
that movie. We could go on and on about that one too, but I don't know if we have the time for that.
in the Multiverse of Madness, and I call it Rise of the Scarlet Witch because let's be for real, it is Rise of the Scarlet Witch. They only went into like a bunch of other multiverse and they were only there for like 0.5 seconds. But why didn't anyone think, hey, where's Vision? Or hey, let's take her to a universe where her kids don't have a mother and let them live out? But again, I guess that would spawn the incursion. But where's White Vision at? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I think that's going to get answered later on.
Maybe in Agatha, I don't know.
Aren't they doing a WandaVision too?
They are. I didn't hear that, but maybe they might.
I've heard that one.
I mean, I will watch a WandaVision too. It's just the shows that don't really impact Marvel overall. I don't want to see. Like, I feel like we didn't need a Hawkeye show. We didn't. In my opinion, the show wasn't that good to me.
It was not good.
That show was not good. That show was just like, what is here? But I guess if you want to introduce Cassie, because I feel like they're building a young Avengers.
Kate Bishop, you mean?
Yeah, Kate Bishop.
Oh, my bad. I said Cassie. Yeah, my bad. I get Kate Bishop and Cassie mixed up every now and again.
It's understandable.
Yeah, but I feel like they're trying to introduce younger Avengers because I think every show had a younger Avenger in it. So I think that's what they're trying to build to him. But I'm just like, we don't need a Hawkeye show. You could have introduced her another way, in my opinion.
But it's like at this point, like they have to do the Young Avengers soon though, because like they've introduced all of these characters now, but a lot of them now aren't going to be considered young anymore. Like,
I agree.
Haley Steinfeld, the actress that plays Kate Bishop, I don't know how old like she is. I think she's in like mid-20s, maybe late 20s. I don't know. She's not young, and so it's just gonna be hard to make her look as a young character. It's like she's about as old as Scarlett Johansson was when she played Black Widow the first time. I feel like.
Right.
Like, and you wouldn't think to cast her as a young Avenger. Like, and she's playing a major character though that's supposed to be a young Avenger, and Kate Bishop. So it's like, I don't know. And same thing you used to say with the girl that's playing Cassie Lang. Tom Holland's getting a little bit older. I think they've always talked to him maybe being like the leader of the young Avengers.
She's 26.
26.
Mm-hmm.
She's also dating Josh Allen now too. So shout out to my guy Josh Allen.
Oh, the quarterback. Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's my fantasy quarterback, so he's my guy. So in proxy, I'm dating her too, I think.
And I also heard from her herself. I think she wants to play Gwen Stacy because she was in Spider-Man. Yeah. Okay. And I heard she wants to play that, but since she's Hawkeye, I don't think she can do that unless you do the multiverse thing. But who knows?
So I see Immortal Flash saying WandaVision was the most mid show out of the entire Phase 4, and I would have to highly disagree with that one.
WandaVision?
Yeah, do you mean wait, what?
Yeah, no, that's highly. Immortal. I get
credibility.
I get everybody has their own opinion. You're entitled to that. It's wrong, but you're entitled to it.
Let's look up the shows, MCU shows. I want to see what shows there are, so we can decide, who's mid.
For me, Hawkeye's always been at the bottom.
Yeah, Hawkeye's at the bottom for me, and I'm not even going to address Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and Humans, or any of the Netflix shows. So we're just talking about the Disney shows.
Plus,
Disney Plus. So we got the shows that the Phase 4 shows were WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Secret Invasion so far. The most mid show, I gotta give it to Hawkeye. I gotta agree with Ghost Dog. Hawkeye to me was this pointless waste of time. I didn't feel like they added anything to the MCU, and I feel like it actually took away from Hawkeye because it made him look like, oh, I'm just a Joe Smo, and I happen to know Nick Fury, and I happen to have backdoor connections and stuff like that. So I gotta give that to Hawkeye.
I think Ghost Dog knows my answer because we had our conversations about this a while ago. Mine's Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel? Tell me, can you tell me why?
Hawkeye's right there, right above it. But Miss Marvel to me just was a mess. I didn't like it at all.
I think they were
I haven't dreaded having to watch another show more than that one. Like every week there's a new episode. Like every other show I've watched it like as soon as sometimes I kind of forget and I'd watch it like Thursday or Friday, but like majority of times like Wednesday, as soon as I can, I'm watching the new episode. That one was just like Saturday, I guess I should watch the new episode that's out. And then I got like halfway through and I'm just like, just doesn't make sense. Like how is this chick that yes, she's been a superhero super fan her whole life, all of a sudden finds out she has powers, and
based on a bracelet,
all of a sudden knows how to use these powers, knows how to fight off assassins.
That was one of the big things. They never discussed the timeline.
There's no timeline, so it made it feel like, and then like, oh, they're in the middle of the school year, and her and her mom just decide to up and go to across the world. And and then while they're there, just small things, she decides to time travel somehow, and she comes back, and then this lady sacrifices herself that was the villain, and now I'm not the villain, I'm sacrificing myself for my son, and now I'm big, yay. Oh yeah, by the way, also, you're a mutant. Congrats. Mutants are introduced in the MCU in the most stupid show ever, Miss Marvel.
Here's the thing. So,
I get a little heated about that one.
Yeah, well, so you sound passionate. You sound real passionate.
Were created because Marvel sold the right to all the mutants.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to not use the word mutant, they used the word inhuman. Well, now they have those rights back.
Yeah, and I heard that but she was originally intended to be a mutant. And so now they're just retconning that. But it's like, cool. That's fine, but like I just think we should have had our first ever canon
event.
I don't know. Like the first canon one was the bear in
the bear was introduced in Black Widow. Yeah, he was technically a mutant. But hold on, I'll pull it up.
He was in he was in prison with the Red Guardian when he was telling the story about
he was.
I also heard that there was a room at one point. I think they were gonna have Omega Red be in that prison as well.
Yeah,
I'll pull it up right now so everyone
Omega
can see.
Red was also at one point in Deadpool 2.
This is the bear that Ghost was talking about. Oh, y'all can't see it, can y'all?
Oh, I can see it on Discord. I don't
think
I can see it on stream though.
For some odd reason, it's bigger than it needs to be. There we go. This is the bear when he was arm wrestling. He's technically, supposedly a mutant, but was he the first mutant though? That's what I don't understand. Like
he was the first unofficial mutant introduced in the.
Unofficial, but like this was the first ever mention official thing mutant referencing mutants. We get the X-Men theme song and everything. It's like, this is it. It's like the last tagline at the end of a show that 90% of Marvel fans probably didn't even watch.
Was it the first? Didn't Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness come out before Miss Marvel?
No, this was first.
Oh, it was. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you would say that you didn't like that show, Miss Marvel, Captain, because I felt like that show was directed for kids and was trying to bring in a new audience. But I actually thought you would hate. Everyone seems to hate this show more than any other show. But I felt like a show that got unnecessary hate was She-Hulk.
I was not a big fan of She-Hulk either, though. Yeah, that one.
It was probably the next one on his list.
I think it was. Yeah, it was like Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, and I think She-Hulk was next.
She-Hulk to me, I didn't like it because I felt like in the trailer they tried to make it a show that it wasn't. They tried to make it like it was an action show, and it wasn't an action show. It was a show about.
It was a comedy show.
Yeah, but I'll say it was like, that's what I didn't like. It was misleading to me. That was my problem with it. Overall, I found it funny. I wanted Deadpool to be, the first person to break the fourth wall, because I think he's the best at it. But it was an okay show. Like, it wasn't the best.
It had its moments, but like, I don't know. I just thought there's a lot of times when it was just like, it went against what they set up earlier in the show. Like for one, the scene where she's talking about like, oh, I know how to deal with anger and stress and all that kind of like. You're talking to the Hulk right now. Like,
Right.
you don't think he knows a thing or two about dealing with stuff like that? This dude was in space for how freaking long? Like so much about that. And then only for her to turn. I mean, like, I get catcalled all the time, blah blah blah. And then there's like, I know everyone loved it and thought it was hilarious. But then later on, there's a scene of her twerking with
Meg the Stallion.
Meg the
yeah,
Stallion.
Meg the Stallion. Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
it's like I get it. Yeah, like I like seeing that, of course. But like, it seems like you're just kind of encouraging the things you were saying you don't want to have happen to you earlier in the show.
Right.
That's kind of how I took it.
So, Aaron,
Even though like that was in private, I don't know. What's up?
Abdo just messaged us in the line.
Oh my gosh, he's alive.
He fell asleep.
He fell asleep. Is he gonna hop on?
I just told him to get in here.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm looking at the chat. It says Moon Knight was a great show, but needed season 2. First off, if you have a show called Moon Knight,
Thank you, Ghost Dog.
Moon Knight should be a part of it.
Right. Like I felt like
He got as much screen time as Adam Warlock did.
Right. And I felt like it wasn't a Moon Knight show. It was a show about, I can't remember the guy, Stephen Grant or something. Graham.
Stephen Grant and
it was a show about them. Like I didn't feel like
I don't remember the name.
they put him in the first episode to get people in, and then it was just downhill from there to me. Like I think the villain was great.
He was in the last one too, in the big fight.
Yeah.
And then the one where there was like, I don't know, the jousting scene, or not jousting, but like they went to that island or whatever.
Yeah.
He came out again. There was like 3 times when I think he actually showed up.
Right.
And then the biggest battle fight scene, it was a cutaway, and then the fight scene was done. It was like, wait, you built up the whole show to this like massive moment, and then it just cuts away, and we don't even see how it went down.
Right.
Like what? That's
Oh, Mark Scepter. Okay. And what about what's the third guy? He had a third personality.
Joe. Cab driver Joe.
Right. I felt like they didn't really explore that. I felt like he was like a throwaway.
I think there could be a second, which Immortal Flash will enjoy. I believe there is going to be a second season of Moon Knight where they may talk more about Joe, because what's the guy's name?
Khonshu?
Khonshu, yeah.
Khonshu.
He's like, Mark thought I was letting them go, and man, with this many minds, why I don't have to let him go. So.
Yeah.
I think the villain of Moon Knight was good. I enjoyed the villain. I forgot the actor's name, but he's a good actor, and I enjoyed the villain.
He played a villain in another show recently. I just watched. It was a much less publicized TV show. I think it was on Amazon Prime. It was called I am Virgo.
I don't think I've seen that show.
The antagonist on that one too. He was the like an anti-hero.
Oh, Ethan Hawke. Okay, I forgot his name. Ethan Hawke. Thank you, the other black man.
Overall, I liked Moon Knight though. I think I had it at 3rd, behind Loki and then WandaVision.
What about What If though? Like what? I think What If is
I think I had What If 3rd on my list.
I like What If.
What If has been a hard one for me to like rank in these, because it's kind of like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for me. It's like, does it count? Not like it's good, and like Into the Spider-Verse, and in that case, I mean that shows them that movie's amazing. And
it
so
is
the second one. My buddy actually just watched the first one for the first time, and he was just like, "Dude, this movie's insanely good." I'm like, "You hadn't seen it yet? Like, what do you?" I thought, how are we friends? Like, I didn't know you hadn't seen this yet.
Bro, I seen it the day it came out. Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, amazing.
And I told him, I
movies.
was like, now you got to go see the second one. He said, "Is it as good as the first?" And I said, "Well,
it's better."
Better. I don't know. It's just,
to me,
you have to go find out for yourself.
To me, Across the Spider-Verse is, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Like
that's what I told him. I was like, a lot of people said that Into the Spider-Verse was their favorite Spider-Man, like across any of the Spider-Man movies that have come out, and now like this one was.
It was good. Don't get me wrong, but Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy so far has been the best.
What?
That's where I stand. But
hold on.
Although,
hold on.
This Into the Spider-Verse one is not MCU, so that kind of
actually it is MCU.
And that's what I was trying to say about What If. Like, is What If MCU? We don't know.
MCU references. It's not MCU.
I mean,
that's why they couldn't necessarily say, you know, blah 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 blah, because although it's Marvel, it's not MCU, and they made references as opposed to actually pointing out things that actually happened.
they did say something. They said Doctor Strange and that nerd from Earth not 1999999.
And that nerd, but that's it. I mean,
this was like a brief time. It's actually been changed since then, but I did see this with my own two eyes. The Prowler that showed up, the live action one. It said on IMDb MCU Prowler at one point.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, thank you, Captain.
I should have taken a screenshot. I literally looked at it, I saw it with my own two eyes, and I went back and checked it a few days later, and it did not say that. It just said Prowler or something like that. I was like, so maybe they got in trouble for having that on there that wasn't supposed to be. But I saw it. I'm not lying.
I believe you. But I want to get back to what Ghost Dog said. You said that is the best trilogy. The Tom Holland Spider-Man is the best trilogy
of all the Spider-Man so far. Yeah. Now, mind you, I'm taking in account all three movies from Homecoming, Far From Home, and
No Way Home.
And No Way Home. Yep.
I have two things to say to that. One, we haven't seen the third, Miles Morales movie, so I feel like your opinion could change, but I could be wrong.
Or the third Andrew Garfield movie, it could still happen.
You really think so?
I've heard rumors that he may show up in Venom 3. I think I saw that.
I heard rumors he may show up in Secret Wars or something.
He may be the Spider-Man in the Venom universe. I think that'd be good.
But I don't consider Tom Holland Spider-Man a trilogy. Because I don't consider that is because it's built on a bigger universe. Like, it's not its own trilogy. Like, Tom Holland's was his own trilogy. It's not built on another universe. Neither is Miles Morales. But Tom Holland's is built on the MCU, and it wouldn't exist or come to fruition without the MCU. So, and MCU has a bunch of super sequels. So, you can't stand alone. That's my thing.
I think it could stand alone. It'd be tough for it to stand alone because it's built into this massive thing called the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think if you took it out and you made it its own story, I think it would still survive. But I think
even if you take it out, it would still exist inside the big greater Spider-Man universe.
Okay.
The third movie, because both of the actors showed up in it. So no matter way you break it down, it's part of a bigger universe.
Let me tell you this though, before you say it will exist on its own, Ghost Dog, answer this question directly. If you say you can take it out of MCU and it exists on its own, how the heck did Tom Holland Spider-Man get bit? Because it's not explored in the movies. And I have a theory. I do have a theory as to
it wasn't explained in any of the movies.
Exactly. So how would you explain it?
The reason why the MCU stepped away from that was because it said that story has been shown over and over again. They wanted to pick up this Spider-Man story from a different part of his timeline.
Yeah, how would you want to pull a DC and show Batman's parents getting killed again, like they've done with every Batman?
They've done that already with both Spider-Man trilogies in the Sony Marvel versions.
I heard a theory.
They did it with Tobey Maguire's, and they did it with Andrew Garfield's.
What's your theory?
Here's my theory. I watched Spider-Man 3. I think the one with all the Spider-Mans, and the Osborn guy, he said he went to his apartment, there's no Osborn there, and there's no Osborn as of yet in the MCU, right? So the theory I heard is that Tom Holland Spider-Man was bitten by a spider from Tony Stark's laboratory. That's why Tony Stark knew about him before, and he always kept a close eye on him.
See, that's a theory. We don't know where his canon story comes from.
That's true, but we can't disprove the theory though.
Without having Tony Stark in that one, that's probably part of a story they could have went back and told.
Well, they do need to tell it, but I think that could be true though, because how else would Tony Stark know about Tom Holland Spider-Man unless a spider got out and they chose not to explore it? But that makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense, but again, it's just a theory.
Yeah, but I mean, how else would you explain him having powers? They didn't go into detail.
He said it. I got bit by a spider. I woke up one day. I was able to have these abilities, and I thought I should do something good. He said that in his first movie.
Yeah, but
was it in? No, was it?
It was Civil War.
It was Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War.
He talked about it in Civil War.
Captain Bear, you like your thinking. You like your thinking over there. What's your thoughts?
Well, I was also thinking you just can't take this movie. You can't try to consider this movie without the MCU, of course, like you said, but it's because of it's part of the MCU that makes it such a good trilogy because it's so tied into all of that and everything works. And we've seen what Sony does with their Spider-Man movies when they do them by themselves. So if it had only been if they had done this Tom Holland trilogy on their own instead of part of the MCU, it probably wouldn't have been as good as it ended up being because it wouldn't have had all these extra tie-ins and everything that we love. By the way, needed to be said, what's up with your Discord like notifications there? You got a lot to take care of if they're left.
I know. I've
seen that out of the corner of the screen the whole time. I'm just like, that says 1K plus.
Yeah, I don't. Every time someone always send me a notification, oh, I'm going live here, or oh, I'm dropping a video, and I'm usually going to watch it anyway, so I don't think I need the notification.
That stuff though, right? So the push notification is not there at all.
No, it'll still show up. The notification will still show up.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like,
no, you can get it so that it doesn't.
If it's at everyone, it will still show up. You won't get notified, but it will still show up. I have to clear them as soon as
I clear all of mine. But
mine.
like I have some like you can set it up so that even the push notification won't be there.
Okay. I might need to do that because I don't know how to do it, but I do have a lot. I'm sorry about that.
It's possible because I only have like a few Discords that I have the push notifications that it notifies me. Like, oh,
my wife,
I need to look at
her
this
phone on her Discord. I tell her all the time. I said your numbers and your red circles are driving me crazy.
So yeah, my bad one is my emails on my phone. That's the only one that I've never really gotten control of. But
ironic, because I keep up on my emails. I don't keep up on my Discord, so we're totally opposites. But
we're opposite. But anyways, yeah, back to what I was saying. The Tom Holland movies wouldn't have worked as well if they were just on their own by Sony, because Sony fumbles the ball every time.
Every time. Because they got Craven looking like a hero, and he's a villain.
Let's be honest. Did you enjoy Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man?
I did. The first one and the second one.
First, I was just about to say first and second one.
The third one, and it's like
that one hard.
Yikes.
But if you're going to say that, Gusto, you got to also look at Morbius. They fumbled that. Venom 2 was
not as good as Venom 1, but I don't think it was.
Venom 1 wasn't good to me, though.
I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people said it was.
No.
Venom 1 was confusing.
When you have a character like Carnage, it needed to be more, and it sucks now that the Craven movie that's coming out, that one I'm really looking forward to, and I think has a good chance because it is going to be rated R. If Venom had been rated R, I think those movies would have been a lot better.
I'm just going to say it. Venom should have been a horror movie.
Exactly. It should have been
a horror movie.
Rated R.
Right. Like
all the violence.
Right. Gore, blood, guts everywhere. Yeah. Like it's a horror movie.
Like look at Logan. Like Logan set the framework for a superhero movie being rated R. Deadpool has done it too. Like, why didn't they just make Venom rated R? So they wanted kids to come see it. It's like, who cares?
I'm gonna say this, and not many people agree with me.
They can see it eventually.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Logan. And the reason I hear me out. It wasn't a bad movie. Overall, it was a good movie. I wasn't a fan because
it wasn't a bad movie?
Logan.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I wasn't a bad because it kind of picked up out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden, Wolverine's driving a cab. Professor X is on his deathbed, and this is like, if they would have gave us some in-depth backstory or some visuals of what happened, I would have liked it more. But it was kind of a letdown. So I'm kind of looking forward to Deadpool to see how they fix this. And also, there have been set pictures of Deadpool, and apparently, everyone's returning to their old roles, like Ben Affleck, the woman who played Elektra, all that. And they're gonna have the TVA in it, and Negasonic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know her name, but
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were in Guardians of the Galaxy.
They were
one of them. I mean, that one. They put a turtle in the tank, and he turned into a human form of a turtle. So I don't think it wasn't official. It was kind of a nod to them. I think.
Okay.
Like it was literally a human-looking turtle.
Mortifies us where Professor X dies in every X-Men movie. I mean, yeah, since the second one, you're right.
Yeah.
Like he dies.
But I can understand what you're saying there, Lefty, because like, yeah, there definitely was a giant gap between the last time we saw Wolverine and Professor X to what we got in Logan, because it's just like, wait. So now just all the mutants are dead. We don't see how they all died or what. And now like Logan is
yeah, but say it came out of nowhere.
Like, it is a little bit out of nowhere, but it was a good for what it was, I felt like it was a good story arc. It was a good send off for the character. I felt like I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I'm just a Wolverine simp. I love Wolverine. He's my favorite character.
The Logan storyline was to help close out the Wolverine because after that, Hugh Jackman said he wasn't going to do Wolverine anymore, right?
And he's doing Wolverine
so
again.
Ryan Reynolds was like, "Hey, you want to play Wolverine again?" He's like,
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
And one of the things, another thing I didn't like about it was the impact when Professor X died in Logan. To me, it didn't feel like it had a real impact on the movie. That's Professor X. Professor X. Like I felt like it could have had definitely a bigger impact. Turn the sound up, Lefty. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me know if that's
Are we
better.
not loud enough for you?
That was in my ear.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Let me know if that's better.
This is the entertainment snob. How can you not be entertained?
I do like that name, like the entertainment snob. I feel like it's such a draw. It's different, so I didn't want
And
this.
you could use something with that. Are you not entertained? I feel like there's something there.
I have
You're
that
the
sound
crafty
effect.
one. You've got your graphics and all that kind of stuff. I think you can come up with something there.
I gotta start making videos for this channel. But have y'all seen the set photos for Deadpool?
I did, and I always like. I never know. Like sometimes I try to avoid those kind of things because you never know like which ones are fake, and I don't want to get like my hopes up kind of stuff. But also I've mainly seen like thumbnails that people make, and a lot of times thumbnails are misleading because people just legit create those to make it look one way, and then you're like, oh, the set photos they're actually showing aren't even close to what they had on the thumbnail.
Right, I kind of agree, and that's why I watch movies the day it comes out because on YouTube, people will already make reaction
Everything's
videos.
Gonna get spoiled.
Right, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't even wait a day to watch a movie. I have to see it the day of. That's why I watch. Go ahead.
Oh, it's the same thing with these Disney Plus shows. Like,
Right.
That's why I have to watch it like that Wednesday morning. I used to stay up to midnight and watch him and do the watch parties, but then I got a big boy job and have to wake up early in the morning.
Yeah, I want to do that, but I ain't staying up till like 2, 3 in the morning to do that.
Exactly. Like for me, it wasn't as bad because I live on the West Coast, so it was just midnight, you know. But yeah, this would be the same thing. Like I just have to, if I don't watch it as soon as I can, I just can't get on social media because I'm gonna see something and be pissed because it got spoiled for me. Because
Yeah.
people are relentless with posting those kinds of things.
Do you think they're overdoing it with Deadpool with like too many cameos? Is overloading a movie? I feel like they're teetering on that.
I was mentioning it to my friend. It feels like. What was that?
I think it could be, but we'll have to wait to see how the movie actually plays out.
I want to see the trailer because you know I'm gonna make a trailer for the MCOC.
Yeah,
for
the
it.
MCOC trailer of it. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always love those. So to me, I was talking to some of my buddies about this the other day. It's like it's definitely been a trend in these superhero movies of having older characters from previous movies or shows return to their roles. It started, I feel like, with Multiverse of Madness. Obviously, we had Professor X, we had Black Bolt of all people, and
his death was so dumb to me. But yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So like we had those characters returning, and it's like, oh, okay, that was like one of the most awesome moments, getting the Illuminati in that movie. And then we had Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Spider-Man No Way Home. We had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield return. And then hopping over to the DC, we had that in. Oh well, have you guys seen the Flash yet?
Yeah, I've seen that terrible movie.
I'm not giving Ezra Miller $1.
I hate Ezra Miller. He's such a
I'm making sure
terrible actor and a terrible person. Like it's just.
I heard the storyline was great for the Flash movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I just refuse to go watch it because if it had been many other actors and actresses, they would have canceled the movie and moved on and said, nope, we're not gonna. But for some reason, Ezra Miller got this built-in excuse, and they went on ahead and shot this movie. And now because they did that, they're paying the price on a movie they might actually be pretty good. They're now paying the price because they refused to replace the actor who they should have replaced several months ago when they had time to
years ago.
Then they had time to replace him.
Yeah. You can't say that they didn't have time to replace him because this movie was delayed for like 12 years.
Yeah, it was delayed
so
forever.
It's like
we would have to find the Flash. Like, here's the thing. Y'all have a Flash. Yeah, he's the TV Flash, But guess
Grant
what?
Gustin
People
is
like him.
flawless. I'm literally I've been rewatching the Arrowverse shows, and while they have their very cheesy and corny moments, like it's a TV show, it's not on the big budget
It's
movie
not on the big
and
budget,
everything.
right?
But like, and even isn't they're not on the level of the Disney Plus budget for a TV show either.
No,
Like,
some of
but
the
for
CW.
what they are, yeah, it's on the CW. Like, I love those shows. Like, I'm in season 7 of Arrow right now. I've watched them all before. I just never. I got kind of around like COVID, like shortly after COVID, I kind of fell off because like the show Arrow that was all based around that
Yeah,
show.
the Arrowverse. Yeah.
After that show ended, it was kind of like if it was a slow decline. I feel like with those shows, but so I'm in season 7 and they ended up doing 9 of the Flash. The last one just finished, so I need to finish it out. That's where I'm at. But yeah, going back to my original point, they seem to be recasting these actors and actresses in previous roles they've already done. They did that in the Flash, bringing back Michael Keaton Batman,
which I did not like. I did not like that him in the kitchen. But go on.
Yeah, that scene was weird.
Yeah, that's not Batman. That wasn't Batman. That was I don't know what they were going for, but him in the kitchen was weird to me. It was like he wouldn't do that. Like, but please continue. My bad. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, and the fact that like he knew all about time travel and all that too. Like, how does he know about any of this if there's no other superheroes? It felt very out there.
And the thing that irked me,
I heard someone saying that literally it just felt like DC was trying to take a stab at Marvel for how they explain time travel in Endgame. Because the way that they did it in that movie basically debunked the way that Marvel did it or something. And I was just like, okay, if that was their point, then it still was stupid though.
Right. And did you hear what James Gunn said about The Flash?
No. Oh, well, beforehand, how he was saying it was going to be like the greatest movie he's ever.
Yeah, greatest superhero movie ever made. So you're saying? I was thinking. So you're saying it's better than all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies? That's what you're saying?
Close.
That's what you, right?
Dude, the CGI. Some of the CGI was just like, huh?
Did you even try
the bubble thing? Like where he was going back in, whenever he was going back in time.
Then they came out with the story that said that the CGI was caused to look like that. Like no, sir, no.
300 million.
And the worst part too was like the way that it ended. Like Ghost Dog, you said you haven't seen it yet, but you don't plan on seeing it. So have you already been spoiled?
I'll wait to come out on was it Paramount or Max or whatever it's going to come out on.
So do you care for spoilers or
go right ahead?
Okay, chat spoilers for the Flash movie, the end of it. If you haven't seen it, warning. But leading into this movie, when James Gunn took over, he says like, the Flash is gonna change the DCU moving forward. This is gonna set the tone for what's to come. How does it end? To me, it ended with way more questions than we got answers.
Amen.
Who was the Batman at the end of the movie?
George Clooney
comes back as the Batman at the end of the movie. Out of nowhere.
I heard a rumor they were trying to get Christian Bale, but Christian Bale kept turning it down. He didn't want to do it.
He was the smart one that said no.
Right. Like, but I mean, I'll tell you one thing. If Christian Bale wasn't, I probably would have liked it more.
Absolutely. He's for me, he's my generation's Batman. Like,
right.
That's the Batman I grew up on.
Right. And when it showed George Clooney, it made me wonder, like, this movie was supposed to restart the DCU, right? Mm-hmm. Did it do that to you in your opinion? Because it don't feel like it did to me. Like,
it left us with way more questions because they said, and it's like, so okay, are we even gonna get a second movie of this? Because the other thing, they never even revealed who killed Barry's mom in the first place.
Oh my gosh!
He went back in time.
Thank you, Captain Bay. I'm sitting here. Like, who the hell killed him?
Hello?
I'm confused. What was Reverse Flash?
I mean, we know from the comics who did it. We know in the Arrowverse TV show who did it. Like, that's kind of a key thing that's part of the Flash's character. Like, obviously his mom dying and then him wanting to fix it. And so I heard people saying that like this was definitely left off in a place where they were supposed to be having a sequel to this, which I can't imagine that sequel's ever going to happen. If
I
they
hope
do,
it doesn't.
And they don't recast, especially, they're even more stupid than we thought. So it's unfortunate that we won't get that sequel because they did leave us with a lot more questions. That one being who killed his mom. Like, why is George Clooney Batman? Like, is he gonna be playing more? Is he gonna be in the DCU moving forward? And I don't know. It's just it left us with so many different like head scratching moments. So and then the post credit scene too. Then it's like, oh, Arthur Curry, Aquaman, he's alive still.
I'm just like, what was the point of that post credit scene though? Like, it was just like I feel like it did nothing. It didn't do anything. But now that you've seen the Flash, Captain Bane, here's a question for you too, Ghost Dog. Are you gonna see Blue Beetle?
I mean, I'll see
the Blue Beetle. I think I will give it a shot because it looks interesting. I seen the previous form; it's kind of like pretty interesting.
Kind of. I love Cobra Kai. I think the actor is a good young actor.
Yeah, the guy from Cobra Kai was in that. Yeah.
I'm probably going to see it too. It looks kind of good, but I know you like Craven, Cap, but I don't know if you like him in Marvel Contest of Champions. But to be honest, I wasn't a fan of the trailer because the thing that Sony does, they try to make the villains look like heroes. And for once, I want the villain to be a villain. Like, I don't want them to be good guys. I want them to be bad. And
it's like we had Venom, who was like, they pitched him as an anti-hero, and then they tried to do the same thing with Morbius, and now they're going to try to do the same thing with Crave. It's like, no, these are villains. These are Spider-Man's villains. We know you guys are greedy and stupid, and you won't give up your rights, and that's why you're trying to do this, because you can't just go make your own Spider-Man movie outside of the Spider-Verse. They have that, I guess, but like they're just trying to make characters heroes when they're not heroes. And then they got that Madam Web movie coming out. We'll see how that one goes. I will say, I hear some of the actresses that are in it gets me excited. Sydney Sweeney, sign me up.
Right.
Like, and there was someone else that I heard was cast in it too, and then I was just like, yeah, she's in it. Sign me up. So we'll see, but we'll see what happens with that.
My thing with Sony, I don't really pay attention to Sony rumors because I feel like Sony stick to PlayStation and cameras. That's what you're known for. That's what you're known for.
Don't do cell phones no more.
TVs.
Right,
TVs
like I don't have a Sony TV. I have a Vizio. So in cell phones,
I have a Samsung TV.
I'm gonna say like I never knew they had phones. I have an Apple iPhone, so I wouldn't have known that. So for me, I use Sony for PlayStation and for cameras. I have 2 Sony cameras. I love them. They're great. But
don't do your computers no more, Sony. Don't do any of that.
No, they do have a computer. Wow, I didn't know. Like again, I don't
only do games and cameras.
That's all they do. I'm hoping
stay in your lane.
I'm hoping that Apple buys Sony. I don't think it will happen, but if Apple buys Sony, all the rights to Spider-Man go back to Marvel. And I want
that's the only why you want them to buy them.
Yes, that's the only reason.
Apple and Disney are just gonna end up owning everything by the end of it.
Real quick, Lefty, I know we've discussed a lot of things. There's been a lot of questions in your chat.
Amazon too.
So I kind of want to.
Oh yeah, we can do Q&A. We can do Q&A right now.
Well, there's been so Mortal Flash asked early on, do you think Venom 3 will be rated R? I think we kind of touched on that a little bit, that we hope it will be. Superior Iron Man not showing up was the biggest letdown ever. That's the only thing that got me excited, but no, he didn't happen. ASVP TV said you couldn't pay me to watch the Flash. I don't care if they brought back Bell. I still wouldn't bother with it. So we talked more about the Flash movie that Grant Gustafson was supposed to get the cameo, but they never reached out to Grant Gustafson to ask him. Let's see.
Well, and that's the other thing too. So about Grant Gustin too. So in I think it was season 6 of the Flash, the previous season, there was a whole
cameo
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Infinite Earth, yeah,
that was really good.
Infinite Earth one, and in that crossover event that was across 5 different shows, which was one of the best crossover events I've ever seen.
I agree,
including like movies. Like it was I loved it, because they basically essentially canonized any DC property that's ever been done, and the Flash movie kind of piggybacked on that and did that again, even more. But in that crossover, in the Flash episode, I think it was the Flash episode, they literally had Ezra Miller Flash cameo on the CW series.
That was amazing. I loved it.
I think the timing was intentional so that I think there was probably supposed to be a cameo of Grant Gustin in the Flash at one point, because when that aired on TV was soon after the Flash movie at one point was supposed to get released at that same time too. So my theory is that there was a back and forth crossover planned for the movie and the show, and that's why they did that. But then the Flash movie just kept getting delayed, and so Grant Gustin's scene never happened.
Right.
So that's I've never heard anyone say that. That's just kind of my theory. I've always kind of thought that makes sense because at one point those were supposed to line up around the same time.
Yeah, I think that I agree. I agree with that.
So Immortal Flash did ask. He said, he stated that Ezra Miller was given the wrong role based on his personality. He would have made a better Reverse Flash than Flash.
He should have played a special ed kid in a hospital.
A better Reverse Flash? I don't know. To me, if Reverse Flash from the cartoon, this is from the animated series, he has a really calm and meticulous demeanor. So
I haven't liked him in anything he's ever been in. Like the only other role that I really know him in actually is the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Yeah.
And he's
forgettable in that movie.
By far the worst character in those movies, but he's like almost the central character across those movies.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, those movies are diving into a whole other realm of nothing good.
I don't know him from any other movies, though.
Outside of the first one, but yeah, I don't know outside of that what he's been in.
I'll look it up right quick.
But like between that and his Flash character across the few DC projects he's been in, I don't understand why he got the role. I don't think he's a good actor.
Let's see.
Trust me, I know I know what good acting is. I'm clearly very important with acting and all this kind of stuff. I know what I'm talking about.
I don't know if you heard.
I did like 1 year of drama class in high school.
So DCEU
kind of a big deal.
With Blue Beetle, do you think the Blue Beetle franchise could save the DCEU?
No, I don't.
I don't think it could save it. I think it could be a stepping stone in the right direction, potentially.
How did you guys feel about Black Adam? I think I know how you felt about it. Cap, how did you feel about Black Adam?
So outside of Ezra Miller, there's one actor in Hollywood that I might hate more. His name is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He plays the same character.
And I do smell what I'm getting at.
He plays the same character in literally every single movie.
This is another conversation I had with my buddies recently. Is what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies do you actually like? And I realized that
that's a good question.
I can't remember the year cutoff was. Like there was I do like him in Jumanji. That's like the only recent movies I've liked him in.
No, I couldn't even say Jumanji.
It's like
Red Notice.
No,
Red Notice, yeah, it was all right.
I think Ryan Reynolds carried it.
Right, yeah. He did.
That's good.
Let me pull it up. I need to figure this out. Because like I was looking back and there was a year cutoff where it's like before this year, all of his characters were pretty solid. After that year, they were all the exact same role.
I can't figure out
Dwayne Johnson.
They were all just him with a different name.
Now that you say that, Captain Bay, I can't think of a movie that I actually was like, oh man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I liked Jumanji.
Okay.
That's how I felt about Jumanji. But it wasn't just him. It was Kevin Hart. It was Jack Black, and the rest of the crew. So
okay. It was I think 2008. Because he actually, I don't know if you guys remember, but he was the bad guy. He was Agent 23 in Get Smart.
Yep.
I liked him in that one. The Game Plan, if you've ever seen that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a comedy where he finds out he has a daughter.
Yes.
And he's a football player.
Football player.
So like that one was pretty good.
Maybe The Rundown?
Never saw that. I don't know.
I'm trying to think. You said after 2008, what movie did I like him in?
What was he? Oh, someone was saying he's in the Other Guys, but I can't remember his role in that movie.
He was the other agent.
He jumped off a building into a plane with Samuel L. Jackson, and that was his entire.
So then it was 2011 was when he started. He started in Fast Five, and from then on, it kind of just you go Fast Five, then you got G.I. Joe.
Oh, that Retaliation.
Named Empire State. I don't know.
I've never seen a movie take a bigger step back than G.I. Joe to G.I. Joe Retaliation.
I agree.
It went from this technology-based G.I. Joe to this back to just regular old military.
And then they killed Channing Tatum off in like the first 5 seconds of the movie. Yeah, it's like he was the main character in the first one, and then they're like, he gone.
Well, but to be honest, now that you said that, Captain Bay, I can't think of a single movie that I'm like, oh, this movie was the best Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie. Like,
No,
I can't think of a single one.
He's the most overrated actor in Hollywood, and he's also the most overpaid actor in Hollywood. He's just a name. I did like him in Moana, but that's because it was animated.
Right.
I don't know if it's a little bit different. So like that's another one. That one and Jumanji in recent years are the only ones that I've really liked him in, I guess.
Well, I mean, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Ryan Reynolds and like Will Smith a little bit, because I feel like they play the same characters in every movie too. Like they don't, and also Keanu Reeves, they all play the same character. Like you can take any character from any movie and put it in another movie and it'll be the same thing, literally. And I just feel like, I mean, it's not the problem with that. It's just like after a while, don't you get tired of playing Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Because in Black Adam, he was Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Black Adam's outfit. It's like
I was happy that they didn't let him do the eyebrow thing.
Yeah,
it seems like he just has it in his contract to do in every movie.
You don't like the Smolder look?
Yeah, just how do you do it?
The Smolder was good in Jumanji because it was funny, but like every other movie, it's like, okay, come on. Liam Neeson is like that. I'd say he's similar. And there's always those same guys that show up in roles that are always law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
They're either like head of the FBI or CIA, or they're the same role in everything they've ever done. But they're never like the main character. They're just always like a side guy or something.
ASAP says, well, Will Smith does not play the same character. The character in 7 Pounds is not the same character in Hitch. We got to stop that. That's fair. That's a good point. That is fair.
Hitch is fantastic.
That was a good movie. But I mean, you got to admit, ASAP, he played the same character in Bad Boys as he did in I, Robot, as he did in, what's the other movie he played in?
Men in Black.
Men in Black. I mean, come on. Like,
but he did play, but then he did Ali.
Good point. Okay, good point. Okay, fair point. Ghost Star, you like Will Smith?
You gotta give Will Smith his credit, man. He's got some range.
And he bitch slapped Chris Rock. I mean, that role.
I
mean,
that was
could have done.
I mean, who else could pull that acting job off, right?
I mean, good point. I gotta let you have it. Read last. San Andreas, Faster, Tooth Fairy, Get Smart, Walking Tall, Mummy, all good movies. They weren't good because, well,
Pursuit of Happiness, that's actually a good call too.
Oh, Gridiron Games. He was in Gridiron Games too.
Yeah, but that was before 2008 though. Matter of fact, when he had hair was when he was playing different characters. As soon as he lost his hair, he started playing the same character. That's a fact. When he lost his hair.
Another actor that for a long time played the same role.
It's Abdo. Abdo, why don't you just join us in the Discord chat that we've created for ourselves?
Abdo's on the call now. He finally joined.
No, we literally confirmed the time. Did you just like not set an alarm or something?
He said I went to sleep. I guess I was sleepy.
In his defense, I mean, to be fair, we've kind of gotten far off the track from Secret Invasion 3.
We're kind of waiting for
so
Abdo
we kind of stalled for you, Abdo.
Come on in so we can do
right now. We're currently talking about what Dwayne The Rock Johnson movies we like, so you can see how that really relates to Secret Invasion.
In the title of the stream, it does say Secret Invasion, Deadpool, and more.
And more. So we're on
this is the and more.
We're on the and more part.
Yeah.
So, but I was gonna say another actor that is very well known for playing the same actor in every movie is Adam Sandler, but everyone loves him too.
I mean, but I don't really expect Adam Sandler to play a different role though.
Adam Sandler is the comedic actor. We expect him to do comedic crap.
Right. I don't expect much from Adam Sandler. I'm talking about actors that are big budget. Like Adam Sandler, he's not going to give you a big budget movie.
Adam Sandler, it's going to be good comedy, the same actors in every movie,
good comedy,
all of his buddies, and then some smoking hot chick is who he's dating or married to. No, it's just like, what? How is this lady dating him? Like, what?
The more Flash. I will answer that question by saying no.
What?
One word, no.
He's at Tosca Game said, you guys seem to have it. I got to head out on a few anyway. Wow. If you didn't want to join the call, just say that.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one that wanted us to do this. You hit us all up this week. You pulled us all together, and you're the one that's not going to be.
You were the Nick Fury of the group.
Right.
No.
And you abandoned us.
No, he's not the Nick Fury. No.
That's all right, Abdel. We're gonna. I would like to do this again. I don't know if y'all had a good
General
time.
Ross, maybe.
Wow. I don't know if y'all want to do this again, but I'm having a good time. If y'all want to.
Me too.
I usually stream on Sundays, but I mean, I want to stream on an additional day during the week, but you know, my MCOC stream, so I don't want it to cut into that. But I would definitely like to have you on again to discuss it. What's y'all thoughts? On Thursday, I go see movies, so I'm going to see Mission Impossible this week. I think that movie is going to be better than the last. I can actually say this. This is going to sound controversial, but I feel like Mission Impossible is the only franchise ever made whose installments get better with every single movie. Every single movie has gotten better than the last.
On Mission Impossible?
Mission Impossible. Name another franchise whose movies gotten better with every single movie. I can't think of a single one. Let's see. A movie that's gotten better with every Star Wars, no. Indiana Jones, why? I can't think of a single franchise that I hope no one says it, but I feel like the other black man might say it. It's going to be Fast and the Furious. There it is. Intoxicated Gamer said it.
Can we get a timeout on the Intoxicated Gamer, please?
Fast and Furious.
What? You know, I got to play the sound.
Family.
Yeah, Captain America's trilogy did get better.
Captain America is in the trilogy,
but it started off at such a low bar that it had no choice but to go up.
Captain America
and Spider-Man's almost there. Outside of I think 1 is better than 2, but I do think 3 is the best one.
I would agree, but is it the best because it had the other Spider-Man in it? And Doctor Strange?
Absolutely.
Because
I loved it.
Spider-Man it doesn't seem like it can operate on its own. Like, in every movie, it's had Iron Man, Nick Fury, and then the Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. I want to see Spider-Man on his own.
Tom Holland, though, he's the one that he solved everything in this final one. He was the guy. He had help, yes, but everything kind of.
If we're nitpicking, what they could have did was just make everyone forget what Mysterio said. Why they gotta forget Spider-Man, or Peter Parker? Common sense was hey, Doctor Strange, can you make everyone forget that Rey Mysterio said this? Wouldn't that be just as good as making everyone forget Spider-Man?
Yeah, but then we don't have a movie, so.
Yeah, I mean, common sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's so many moments you can go back to. Why didn't Thor go for the head the first time? You know.
Well, good point.
You could go back in any movie
or just slice off the hand. Why didn't they just
do this?
Or slice off the arm that had the gauntlet on it.
Well, they said that Thanos was indestructible. You can't cut him like that. You wouldn't be able to cut his hand off. That's what allegedly, because someone did say, why didn't Doctor Strange just cut off the gauntlet? And they said he can't cut Thanos. But he did bleed a drop of blood.
What do you mean you can't cut Thanos? He literally cut his arm off, then cut his head off. in Endgame.
I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't have it all together.
So, Lefty, I have a question. You said you go to movies every Thursday?
Usually, yeah.
Do you have any kind of movie pass?
I have AMC stubs, and I get 3 free movies a week, so it doesn't cost me money. But I usually buy.
Cost me anything additional.
Right, boss. I usually buy snacks, and I do wear out on the snacks. Give me the popcorn, the pizza, the frosty.
So that's where your July 4th money went.
Yeah, basically. I mean, but the July 4th deals weren't good to me at all. There were no 7-star shards, really. How do we?
It really wasn't.
How do we?
Very lacking.
Again, I'm going to tell y'all the thing about the 7-star shards.
I gotta hear this.
Couldn't do it this time because you gotta control the 7-star market. There's not a lot of 7 stars out there, so if you start handing out a bunch of shards, then you got this oversaturation of all these. This first, what was it, 30 or 35 or 36 7 stars, and then now everybody's moved on. Because now they just got 7-star shards. And then those who are complaining about 7 stars will slowly start to leave the game, as opposed to having a gradual fall off as you're bringing on newer players.
That's true, but
so you got to control the. Although I say that, and they turn around and gave, you spent $100. Here's a fortified gym for you for your 6-star.
Not just a fortified gym, a selector. You could pick who you take up.
Yeah, you can pick which. We'll give you 3 class choices. You can choose which class choice you want.
I didn't like that because think about it. I have a pretty big account, but someone who may have been Cavalier easily passes my account from those deals.
No, not Cavalier.
You sure?
But, yeah, because they were for Paragon players.
Oh, so okay, you're right.
But here was my problem. You just had to be Paragon. What's the rules to be Paragon? You finish Act 7. I'm sorry we made this MCU talk.
That's not good. I mean, it says in more, so we're good.
We're still in the in more.
We're in the in more phase.
It was genius to add that in because that covers anything else we talk about.
You had to finish 7.4, and you had to have what 3 rank 4 6 stars, and now all of a sudden, without doing any of Act 8, doing any EOP, you can now get you a rank 5. You went from no opportunity at that moment to get a rank 5 to having multiple opportunities of having multiple rank 5s without doing a thing.
Right.
We have a very perfect example of somebody we all know. I will not mention their name, but they did that.
Oh.
We can mention his name on this channel. It's fine.
I'm not saying the name.
Okay.
I'm not saying the name.
I don't know who you're talking about, but okay.
You don't know who we're talking about?
I honestly don't know. Honestly, I don't.
I don't either.
I'm going to type. You probably don't know, Captain. I give you that. You probably don't know.
But while you're looking that up, I wouldn't say I've done quite that.
I'm going
I haven't done Act 1 and 8.2 and 8.1 and 8.2, but I've done Eternity Pain. I've done Abyss. I've done like all that kind of stuff.
That's the
and
thing.
you already had 1 or 2 rank 5s, right?
I had
3.
I had 1.
I went from 3 to 9.
But so you went from 3 to 9. You had 3 already. Okay, this person went from not having 1.
I want to see this. Hold on,
They did not have 1. They hadn't finished Act 8.
Oh, I know.
They hadn't done Eternity of Pain. They hadn't done any of the Gauntlet or the last part of the Gauntlet, and they got 9 rank 5s out of the deal,
and a rank 2 7-star,
and a rank 2 7-star.
And I told my child that, like, I was like, I don't think these deals are worth it, but there are people who have passed me already, and I've done Act 8 100%. Well, Act 8.2 and 8.1. I did the Abyss. I did Eternity of Pain, all the Community challenges, and with all of that, I only had 1 rank 5.
Right. And so where is that fair to someone like you who's done all that, where this person, all they had to do was drop mad cash, and now their roster has surpassed yours by doing nothing.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely overdid it on that side of things with these deals.
But that's
so it really separated the gap between people. I mean, not that it was already pretty wide of people that spend and people that don't, but like this just really blew it off because it wasn't just the fact that you could buy all the offers. Is once you bought the Paragon ones, then the next tier down, Thronebreakers showed up. You could buy all of those ones.
You could
buy all those ones.
I don't see why anybody would.
Like,
Enzo,
I mean, I
did.
know the people at the top did. Seaton did. Seaton said he did. He bought every single one of them, I think.
Enzo bought one of the Odins from the next lower tier under Paragon.
By accident? Or
no, he did it on purpose. He was like, yep, I need that. And his logic made sense. He's like, it's the best time to spend money for units because he said he needed units.
I get that. So like if you're and that's kind of why they did is like you would go through.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, look who it is, guys! We got Aaron Abdo.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.
That's the end of the stream.
We are out of here.
And
deuces. I catch y'all at the next one. What's going on, Aaron Abdo? How are you doing?
When'd you get here?
I went from 6 to midnight, so you're talking about you went from what to whatever. I'm like, no, dude, you guys, I can't believe you guys are complaining about this. I am in the exact same spot as I was right before the July 4th offers.
The lies you are telling yourself.
I'm not. I will stay between 100 and 150 points in the Gladiator circuit, regardless. All I did was keep up with the people who are at the top to stay in that exact position. But I didn't advance my account got bigger based on horrible spending and life choices.
Yes. And that's but see, Abdo, what the difference was?
My skill didn't increase.
The difference was you did everything else to get rank 5s. You had completed EOP, correct? You have done Act 8, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Where you've earned some rank 5s for doing those things. We had Paragon players who had even touched Act 8 or have not finished Act 8, who have not done Eternity of Pain, who had not done a second or third run of the Gauntlet, and now have 7 to 9 rank 5s and or some rank 2s. It doesn't make sense.
No, I disagree with the premise of what they earned, because they unless they're like spending their parents' money and it was handed down to them. Well, then they worked and they earned that money, and for a lot of people, that's worth a lot more than what you earn in a video game where we don't get to keep any of this content. These are things we will never have our
Keeping this
hand
stuff
on.
for life. What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like they earned it, they just earned it a different way.
Print out
you know?
my roster at the end of this when this game
If
dies.
you-
I'm printing it. I'm gonna have it in person.
The physical form.
Physical form.
Yeah.
We'll have
sorry, guys,
Captain Marvel.
I fully blame Lefty though, because we were
No,
we
no.
were in
No, no, no,
we were
no,
in the
no,
line
no,
chat
no.
earlier. No, we were in the line chat earlier, and I confirmed with you two. And I'm like, hey Lefty, anything? And he doesn't say anything back. And then I completely fell asleep waiting for him to respond. And then yeah, so
But Ghost
Don't try to
Dog,
blame Lefty. Don't try to blame Lefty because you fell asleep.
Ghost
We
Dog,
already
and-
had a blame Lefty trend, and now when Groot was in
Oh,
the
I'm just
feature
late on it?
pool, we
Okay.
can't have another one.
I'm about to
Sorry,
say, like,
sorry, I guess I'm-
Ghost Dog and Captain Bay, they just called. They didn't even like ask if I was, because I was editing a video. That's why I didn't respond right away. I was just focused on getting the video out tomorrow, and they were on a call, and I just hopped on and went live. That's it. Didn't even make a thumbnail. My thumbnail for this video is terrible.
hey, at least I just subscribed to your second channel, so.
Yeah.
There's the,
I actually went to it.
yeah, I completely forgot about it. I was like, oh yeah, if I'm gonna tweet about this, tell people that
Yeah.
I'm doing this. Like, I should find the second channel. Lefty, on your channel, you don't have it under
Channel.
channels.
I don't know how
That's
to.
what I was telling him
I don't know how to
beforehand,
connect
he should add
it. I don't know how to connect it yet, so that's why I don't have it on
Okay, 'cause
there.
I tried to find it from that, and I'm like, oh god, that didn't work. And then I
Yeah, you
realized,
just have to
like,
go
I'm not-
into your. You have to go into your on your main channel.
Mhm.
You're not connecting it. You're just adding it as like a featured channel. Like it's a channel that you recommend people go to check out, basically. So like,
okay.
Okay,
it's,
maybe
it's
that's-
not like you're connecting it to your main account. You just have to in the settings somewhere. I can't remember where it is. Just in the YouTube studio, somewhere in there. There's a way
So
to
I can-
update your channel. So like
You do
I
that
can
for
have.
my-
Yeah, you can do that. You can put any channel on there. So like mine, I haven't updated mine in a long time, but like I have Legacy, I have Dork Lessons on there still, Seaton, Contest Champion. I got Frojo, Panda Man Pete, Prof Off. Those are like the ones I have on there because it's like, oh, these are the channels that the last time I updated this. These are the channels that like I communicate with. I recommend you guys check out these channels. It's that.
I
It's kinda,
didn't hear mine or Abdo's name on there.
Yeah, I didn't hear that
like I
either,
said,
but
it's been a long time since I updated this. Okay, like probably 2 or 3 years.
So,
So
like,
Dork
I could
Lessons
add-
is still on here. He hasn't made a video in how long?
I can add you
So,
in, but I'm not
Well,
gonna
since-
apparently. Yeah.
Since we got Abdo here and Lefty, I know you generally like to keep your streams right around 2 hours. So, out of respect of your 2-hour window,
Got 19 minutes.
yeah, most of, we can make the most of that.
And more. And more is
let's go
unlimited
back to the-
time
let's-
as well.
Let's go back to the secret invasion part
Oh
of this
yeah, that's where we
conversation.
started.
Oh
It's
right.
like my mushrooms, by the way.
Oh yeah, I was wondering how
yeah,
y'all
I
did
almost
that.
went with that one, but I didn't want to copy. I was gonna say too, Lefty. There's a website called Cap That. It's like cap-that, and they do screen caps of all sorts of different shows, just whatever they want to do. But they have like tons of images from every episode of Secret Invasion and most things that are new. So if you ever want to use that for I don't know,
Cap
for
that?
thumbnails or for so it's I could, if you make me like a mod in the channel, I could post
Don't
it
do
for you.
that.
if you want,
No,
but-
no, that'd be the
easy.
worst thing.
Wow.
you ever
So
Yeah.
Hold on, let
well,
me
I
find
can't
it.
post a link. You got
You can
You
post
posted
a
it?
link in the Discord.
yeah. I didn't think about that. I don't use Discord. Discord's stupid.
No. You just have to be somewhat
I
intelligent.
think it might be user
Goodness
error.
gracious, Ghost Dog, what is this savageness today?
It's beef. It's real beef. Yeah.
He is not
No,
playing
okay,
today.
I posted there in Discord. Yeah. But no, actually, I just do hate Discord. But I did finally figure out how to turn off every single notification, so that made me happy because
Dude,
God, I was tired.
We had this conversation
randomly
earlier
meet.
because Lefty had his screen up earlier, and he had one of his Discords that said 1K plus for the
Notifications.
I was like, dude, I'm getting anxiety over here, and he's like, I didn't know you could turn it off.
Right, I did it because everyone informs, hey, I'm about to go live every single day, and it's like, bro, I can't keep up. I know you're going live. I have you on my feed, so I'm going to watch the video, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so I see you guys did your breakdown. What was your
We
overall
kinda
impressions
started
though?
with
through-
it. We kind of
Actually, we
went
didn't
away
even.
from it.
We kind of sidetracked pretty quick.
We sidetracked
Wow.
hard.
Like
I mean-
we gave
I
our
mean,
initial. He kind of just asked us.
If our exit was to the left, we went to the right quick.
He literally
Well,
asked us like, "What are your guys' opinions on the first 3 episodes?" We both gave that, and then shortly after that, it went to ranking the
the
Disney Plus shows.
To the DC,
To
DCEU,
It's Dwayne The Rock
Spider-Man talk,
Johnson,
Dwayne Rock Johnson.
The
Big
Flash.
we ended up on the July 4th deals. Like
We're
it
here
just
for the
kind of
Witcher
went
talk,
all over
right?
the place.
Isn't that
The
that's like,
Witcher is coming. The
According
Witcher-
to your Witcher. Oh no, is that
Oh,
not what
Valley
we're
of
doing?
Plenty.
Well, so far, like I don't know, just for I guess my initial impressions, I like it. It's interesting, but I'm not like super sold on it as much as I wanted to be so far. I love Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel movie still. I love Endgame and Infinity War, and there's many other movies I love. Guardians of the Galaxy, first one, all that kind of stuff. But overall, I love Winter Soldier just because I felt like it could be a movie outside of the Marvel universe. You didn't really need superheroes for that movie, and it's just kind of a good action spy thriller. And so I was optimistic about Secret Invasion for that reason. I understand Samuel L. Jackson is 70 something, right? So he can't do necessarily all the same action stuff. But so far, I'm like, I'm enjoying it. I'll watch the rest of it, but I'm not really as engaged with it, I guess, as I would have liked to have been. So
It's not blowing you away.
no, and that's okay. Not every series has to blow you away. They don't for
I
sure.
don't think it's blowing me away, but I think it's a very solid series
Yeah.
so far.
I think so too.
Yeah, so far, I definitely like it. I'm just not like, I guess maybe because I went in with like more hopeful or a little higher expectations. I'm like, okay, it's interesting. I kind of want a little more to happen already than has happened. Like it seems like it's a lot of backstory and a lot of exposition so far, without. But there's still stuff like, why does Gravik hate humans so much? Like just because Nick Fury went to space? That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And
Yeah, I don't know.
he didn't keep his promise. Well, like he's a young guy, a scroll. So what do you expect? Every promise to be kept? Like the whole world went to hell. Like I get, he's pissed off, and the actor seems really cool. He's a handsome dude. He's like, I'm digging that. He seems to be doing a good job. It's just kind of like he's very villainous.
Hashtag intoxicated gamer digs dudes.
Dude, I'm plenty capable of accepting and admitting when another man is very, very handsome.
I mean,
Notice I've never said that about you. Anyways,
There you go.
It's so savage on here, man.
Oh, goodness gracious.
yeah, I'm just like,
Do y'all like each other at all?
And his
Definitely
his
not adding to my
jawline,
featured channels now.
his jawline and his beard stubble. I was like, God damn, that's a handsome man.
Gravik?
Damn.
His haircut,
Gravik, I was like-
haircut to me is off-putting. Like his haircut that looks weird. Like it looks like.
Do you think it's turning you off? Okay.
Yeah, because his fade to me, like y'all talk about bad
Throwing
fade,
shade for fades again.
right?
Huh?
Like you said,
Okay.
Gravik. His fade
Well, I
to
didn't say
me
that.
is terrible. Like maybe his chin, like his fade. They didn't try with his fade. I'm gonna put it on screen so my chat can see, but the fade to me was just like you did not try with this, and I'm tired. Like look at the
What is going on in the brown box?
what brown box.
That's his audio.
Well, like,
oh, he's
on the
he's-
stream.
He's sharing his.
Oh, because you can't put your gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do his face cam on there as well.
Yes, like his haircut doesn't look like sharp to me. It looks like the guy he went to a haircut guy or a barber and was like
I believe the guy who plays him is not 100% African American, which is why his hairline probably looks the way it goes.
Okay, I'm about to say because maybe
Or
his chin
of
line.
Afri-
Sure.
Yeah, he's not from African descent.
Okay.
I believe that he has some other backgrounds in him, so his hairline is finer. Therefore, the fade itself will be a slightly different make.
It does have a bit of an exceeding hairline though.
Receding?
Like whereas I have the 5 head going on, the receding, he's got an exceeding hairline. Like it's coming down. Like,
Yeah.
He's only got a 3 head, not a 4 head.
yeah. He's got a
Abdul's
3
got
head.
like a 25 head.
Right. Apparently, my chat loves to
Yeah.
roast me. I have a 5 head apparently. So
True,
I mean,
true.
lefty,
Yeah.
lefty.
what? My forehead is not that big. I don't care what anyone says.
Whose chat doesn't love to roast them though? in
I know,
fairness?
right?
So,
Like,
come on now.
Why do you think I'm wearing a hat right now? My hair looks like crap. And if I lean forward, everyone's back. Balls back.
actually, where is your cat? I haven't seen your cat in a minute.
I'll go bugger.
Gravik's a
You
very
guys don't
interesting
get
villain.
that,
It's only
just
been
ask
3
the guy.
episodes, and I'm starting to like the guy. Have high hopes for him in the next episode later on. Yeah, Gravik's gonna
Yeah.
be a handful.
I think it definitely seems interesting, but my point was just that like we've gotten a bunch of backstory kind of about Nick and about his about Fury because nobody calls him Nick. About
Oh,
his
Brody called him
his
Nick.
relation. to his kind of wife a little bit, but more so his relation to Talos and stuff, and then Talos's relationship to Gaia, Emilia Clarke's character, and it's like we've gotten like lots of. It feels like it's been 3 episodes of backstory, and then they were like, oh, we didn't launch a missile.
They just asked for River. Okay.
And Discord's green screen's just not as quite as effective, I think.
I don't know. I kind of like y'all green screens, to be honest. It does look very. It looks very vibrant, so I do kind of like it.
I gotta get that Elgato one. It's like twice as wide because I have the stand-up desk, and if I use my uplift and stand up, because I want to be standing up more than sitting down.
Actually,
I have to raise the green screen behind me.
I just want to let you know, Abdo, I actually have 2 stand-up green screens that I had in my old apartment, and I have a second one, but the problem is it's huge. You hold on. I don't know if you can see my screen. Hold on. Like, watch my YouTube channel. I'm gonna show you something.
The one behind me is huge too, so but it's not as
I've
wide.
never had a green screen.
This is the second green screen, Abdo. Look how big it is. So I don't know if I can ship it to you, but this thing is huge.
Wow.
Like, this is the second green screen that I have. I have 2 of these. I bought 2 when I first started streaming. So
Is it the Elgato one, or which one is it?
I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Well, you can't hear us.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Your shirt looks awesome though.
I was just asking, but yeah, I have 2 green screens and I don't use a second one, so I would like to send it to you, but it's huge, so I don't know how to just mail it to anyone. So
yeah, no, it might not be worth it, but I appreciate it. But it's like maybe we should mail it to Captain Bay too, since he doesn't have one. But no, because you lifted yours. Yeah, it's the first screen. It's different. You lifted the screen when you went behind it like that. So is that the Elgato one that rolls up and down?
Yeah, both of them are Elgato. Both of them are.
Yeah, because the one behind me isn't the one that rolls up and down. So it's actually just in my damn apartment, huge all the time, and I can't collapse it and stuff. So okay, we're way off the topic here, but
I said I did say and more, and more.
It just drives me nuts because I don't have people over that often anymore. Like I used to have people over quite a lot more often, parties and stuff after work, but it's not like it's not a big a deal, but it does just sit in the middle of my apartment pretty much all the time. Drives yeah, anyways.
I have a second
my phone. I'm working on the offer from our home. Sorry.
Hey, congratulations, by the way, guys.
Nice.
Congratulations.
I mean, it's not 100%. We're sitting in the offer, but it's a purchase agreement. What does this mean?
Mortal Flash
Okay,
asking,
my
wasn't
wife
Ross
asked
a
the
scroll? Because I forgot. I know he died or something. So we don't know when he became a scroll, but yes, in episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah.
He was a scroll. He jumped off a building and his character died.
So we don't know if Bilbo is actually dead or if just the scroll version is dead.
Yeah.
I don't think. A matter of fact, I don't think. Here's what I want to know: if a human dies and the scroll impersonating the human, do they remain alive? Because they don't have access to their memories anymore. Do they lose connection?
What do you mean, like?
Let's say, because in the show,
Like, does the human die as well?
Yeah, well, like if a human dies, the scroll die, does the persona die? Because they won't have access to the memories anymore.
No, because they just don't like have. Well, I think that's it. Is they just don't have access to the memories. But because the reason that they have access to the memories in the first place is because they're using those devices to get their memories, not because they just inherently absorb all their memories and stuff. Because that's how you test if they're a scroll, is asking them specific things to know if they're like really specific things. Like in Captain Marvel, where Fury says he cuts his toast into triangles. That if they had Fury in the machine, then they could look back and they could know that. But without that, they don't just absorb it; they just do their physical characteristics. So if the human dies, yeah, they don't have access to the memories anymore, but they can still keep that form.
Okay.
And then they get to change form to someone else.
Overall, I think it's a good show. I feel like it definitely should be bigger in scale. I think it should have been like a movie, but I like the show and it's interesting. It's definitely my second favorite show behind Loki.
That's why they stopped doing. They were gonna do Armor Wars as a TV, as a Disney Plus show too, but they decided to do it as movies because with all the different armors, like Stark Tech armors they wanted to show off, the special effects budget wasn't going to be as big as for the show as it would be for a movie, and that's why they decided to make it a movie instead of a show, because it was going to be like I think these shows get like about $150 million or something like that, and then they get still a bigger budget than that for making a movie. So
See, that's funny. I actually heard that they were making a movie because apparently Robert Downey Jr. will be returning as Tony Stark, and you can't have Robert Downey Jr. come back in the show. It has to be a movie. Like, come on.
well, but it might be a version of him that's returning that isn't the main, because that would take away from his sacrifice if they brought him back to life. So it's more likely he's like from a different universe, like a multiverse kind of thing, or in a flashback or that kind of stuff, or just as a voice for an AI rather than actually 616 Tony Stark coming back. Probably.
Well, apparently, I don't think the MCU is 616. I think it's Earth 19999. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh wait, is it not 616?
I mean, they're alluding that it's
Earth
616.
19999.
They're alluding that it's 616, but I think it's really Earth 19999.
It's just the designation that they gave it on the Illuminati Earth in Doctor Strange.
And another thing about that movie, they wasted the Illuminati. Like, the Illuminati was on screen for like 10 to 15 minutes. But I guess that is a significant part of the movie, I guess.
I like the cameo and I like the destruction and everything, but that movie in general, I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, I felt like it could have been better.
We did branch into that one a little bit earlier too.
Yeah.
We also talked about Ant-Man 3 and how bad that was.
Oh my god, it's so weird because there's so many times where you get a show where like that or a movie, I'm like, I like all these actors, I like all these characters. This movie sucks.
Right. Right.
Like Black
Just
Widow,
tells you
I
that the
really
plot
didn't like
was
very
bad.
well. I mean, well, the thing is too that in that movie, sometimes the CGI you were like, oh my god, this looks fantastic, and then at times you're like, oh my god, how could it look so good in some parts and then look so bad in other parts? Where I think it's just because if everything is CGI all the time and everything's on a green screen, it's so exhausting to watch that. Your brain just doesn't want to register everything. So you're like, what is or the difference between Lefty, have you still not watched the Andor or anything?
I haven't. No, not yet. I'm going to, but I haven't watched it yet.
So I know Cap has, right? But the difference between say Andor and then the Mandalorian or Kenobi, where Kenobi was pretty much entirely on the volume or however they do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Andor, they're actually filming outside, and you could just see the difference.
Yeah.
So for Quantum Mania, you're like, dude, everything is fake. It doesn't look that good.
Well, I mean, but you had to make everything fake for Quantum Mania. There's no way. There's no way. The Quantum Realm stuff had to be fake.
Yeah, but they could have made at least parts of it not. I don't know. They could have made the Quantum Realm look like Kentucky. Something. Just something. There was something they could have done differently because I think when they're inside of buildings or inside of that space and they're not just doing all that fantastical outside quantum, then it looks relatively okay. And the CGI on the creatures and the aliens and stuff looks fine. Then you go out and it's just all CGI. I'm like, yeah, no, crap. So that's one of the reasons I guess I like Secret Invasion too, is because it looks like it's filmed in the real world, because it was.
They're really milking this Chat GBT and CGI, all of it. It's getting kind of annoying. I miss the authenticity.
People were complaining about the opening credits for Secret Invasion being done by
the
AI.
intro, that looks horrible. It looked like they didn't even try with that.
I mean, to me, yeah, it's just not that exciting, but it also, it's not something usually that's something I just skip anyways. So I don't really, not that big a deal to me.
It's not like it has an impact on the show, really.
No.
It's very rare
Not for
that
me,
an
anyways.
intro effects.
Thank God you got
outside
your-
of Game of Thrones, that intro, well, I mean, that just gets me every time. But and one thing actually that I remember someone pointing out about WandaVision that was one thing I never noticed during the episodes, but at every start of every episode, remember how she goes previously on WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, she started out super energetic, previously on WandaVision.
Yeah, she changes.
And
as she
every
goes
episode,
on.
it gradually got lower and lower, and just
showing her
stage
stage of depression.
Yeah, I was
where
like,
she was
that's
at.
actually
Yeah.
a really cool detail, stuff like that. But this preview, I mean, in this opener, we do see a quick glimpse of Nick Fury, half Skrull. So maybe that is nodding to at one point there's going to be a Skrull version of Nick Fury in the show. I don't know, or that's just a way of saying that this show is half about Nick Fury and half about the Skrulls.
Yeah.
Outside of that, that's all I've really taken away from the intro.
But the actual artwork itself is kind of this looks like
Yeah.
lame Matrix or something. I don't know. Like, it's not that exciting. But it's also not something I'm like. Doesn't destroy any part of the show for me or anything. So.
Yeah, about to say, I'm enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to episode 4 because I'm ready for that thing to happen where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like this is
I
nice.
think episode 4 will be that show.
Yeah, about to say, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for something
Generally in a 6
happen.
episode series, that's kind of what happens.
And 6
Yeah,
episodes is
it's
not enough.
usually like the 4th one is like something. It ends on a big cliffhanger. Then episode 5 is going to be amazing. Then episode 6 is still going to have some intense stuff, and then a little fallout.
But to wrap it up, yeah.
Wrapping it up, and then lead in if there's going to be more
So
to come.
Stephanie, there were not 2 Nick Furies. There was Nick Fury, and then the second Nick Fury that ended up shooting Hill ended up being Gravik.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Just scanning him to show that Nick Fury tried to trap Nick Fury as the one who killed Maria Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting way to start off the series too. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. So
yeah. When she died in episode 1, I was like, what?
Like, I
was waiting for something to happen. Like, this can't be real. This cannot be real.
Well, so I mean, we just had Amelia Clark get shot. And
that was another one we talked about.
But she's definitely in. I mean, spoilers. She's like definitely in later episodes, right? So
hey, spoiler. We talked about this when you weren't around, Abdo.
If you've been here all the time,
you've been here all the time.
We already had this conversation.
If Lefty had said we were doing it.
Matter of fact, next Sunday
could have at least been around 4 o'clock in the checking in. You know,
it's like 3:50. He hadn't said anything, and then I fell asleep.
That's my fault. That's definitely my fault.
No, but Lefty, don't take blame for Abdo's overs.
So one thing we mentioned
was up last night watching Rebels late. Okay, so these things happen. One thing you mentioned was what?
We had mentioned this that Ghost Dog brought it up that she's seen in footage and trailers that we haven't seen yet on the show, and I countered that with saying, well, it's also not far-fetched though for Marvel to put stuff in trailers that doesn't actually happen in their movies or shows. So
that's true.
That could be them misleading, but I do think that she is going to come back because my argument was like, you don't cast someone like Amelia Clark to play 3 roles in a TV show, and that's it.
Well, alternatively, they could just have another scroll playing. They could have another scroll playing her though too.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So, but I think she's going to be more stuff. She said specifically that she really enjoyed working in Marvel compared to Game of Thrones with those 2 producers because there's been some things she said about those Game of Thrones guys.
They didn't ask her to get naked in this one.
Yeah, and then just leave her without because what's that? Isn't that the rumor or whatever that Jason Momoa was actually looking out for and was like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and bring her a sheet or a towel or some clothing because you guys are just letting her sit around on set naked, you d-bags.
Yeah.
So
real quick, they're wondering if Lefty is a scroll. First off, I'm going to confirm that Lefty is not a scroll.
How do you know?
I will say that Abdo is a scroll because of the green background.
Just to have a green background?
That is a good point. Isn't green indicating of the scroll?
They give away to all scrolls.
Yeah.
Too obvious. See, if I was actually a scroll, I would probably have like an opposite corresponding color to green, like say purple or something.
No. All the scrolls in this show have had some form of green on or around them.
I think the bigger question though is River a Flerken?
River is
that's a good one.
She might have a test right
so she could clean herself on her chair back there. That's perfect timing.
She's just chilling.
She suffered from 2 aneurysms during Game of Thrones. Really?
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Clark? Yeah, she did actually. She did. She was lucky to survive. So
I can confirm that I am a scroll in Mortal Flash.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so no, I would love to do this with you guys for longer. I do have to get running.
That's cool. We're about to end soon anyway. We can schedule again. I usually stream on Sundays, but I also want to stream during the week. But I haven't found a good day. But if y'all can figure out a day,
I just feel like this time. I mean,
It just well,
This would be a good time for me generally on Sundays, but I know Cap plays disc golf some Sundays too. So
I did this morning, but I played at like 8 a.m. So I got out early. I'm playing in a tournament next weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
nice.
2-day, little 2-day tournament. My first real tournament. So
Best of luck.
yay.
Nice.
I'm playing in like the lowest amateur division. Of course,
Oh, you should
'cause I'm-
dominate then. You should dominate.
Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how stiff the competition is going to be in that lower
I
division.
had a guy I
but,
used to
like,
work with who was a sponsored disc golfer. So
yeah, one of my buddies is sponsored. He plays in the highest amateur
And back
division.
to the and more portion of this.
Yeah. Like,
well,
so, but yeah, it's a huge sport. Like in the disc golf industry, there's a lot goes into it. Maybe I'll be sponsored someday. That's the goal.
I think I will be doing.
Lefty's lost 4 viewers since we started talking about disc golf.
And they came to my channel. Follow my disc golf YouTube channel, everyone.
Dap Golf? No, that's a different one.
No, it's hockey disc golf. I actually did start one.
I was gonna say, I think I will be doing a live stream of the Secret Invasion episode 4 when it comes out. Because for me, that's after my normal trivia night, and it's at midnight since we're on the West Coast. So I'll probably be watching that if anybody's
like a
awake
watch
and you
party?
guys. Yeah, so if you
Wednesday?
guys, and we'll do it. Well, because since we figured out we can watch Disney Plus through Discord with up to 50 people, I mean, it's not like the prettiest ever because how the full screen works and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and for like the rest of the episodes, I think I'll be watching Secret Invasion, like have a little watch party or something like that at midnight West Coast time. So I know it's too late for you guys. Probably you don't want to wake up at 3 a.m. But Cap, if you're around, want to do that, or if you guys want to mention it in your streams, or anybody who wants to watch, maybe anybody who doesn't have Disney Plus, come
Yeah,
watch it.
I can drop the link and for the on my other channel, get some viewers over there.
I'll probably do that. So it's been fun to watch a few things. I mean, we don't get that many people watching, but it's still like it just good to share the show and share different stuff with people. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess homework for everybody this week is 2 questions: Is Rhodey a Skrull?
Yes.
And
Well, Abdo
If
be
so,
up next week.
how long has he been a Skrull?
I mean, he called him Nick, and how long is the important thing. So yeah, but he's definitely like instantly.
Oh, he
you're
called
just
him
like,
Nick in their conversation. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he called him Nick. So he's definitely a Skrull. That's probably like Fury probably knows that he's a Skrull, and that's probably why Fury was like telling who is the woman that he's like, hey, or no, he's telling Talos at the breakfast pub kind of place that he had someone high up in the U.S. government who was a Skrull. He's probably referring to Rhodey, one would assume. Like he probably figured that out because he called him Nick. So, but how long has he been a Skrull? That's an important question.
How long?
That
Because
is
how much would that upset the bounce of or the feelings of conversations in the MCU by making him a Skrull too soon?
But I can tell you this much: I don't think he was a Skrull in Civil War, because remember when he got shot out of the air, and Tony took his mask off, he didn't transform, so he couldn't have been a Skrull there.
Well, he didn't die. There.
I think, but he was unconscious and he was paralyzed, so I feel like
Yeah, so the same way Gaia got shot, but we don't think she died.
Yeah,
but
he
turned back
probably
into
would
a
have.
Skrull. He probably would have.
Well, she could have intentionally turned into a Skrull to make him think that she's dead.
Well,
And
but
then
I mean,
after he left, she got back up and said,
And
"I'm
We
okay."
just confirmed that Captain is now a Skrull.
but I mean, if you
If
get
I
knocked,
was a Skrull, River would be attacking me. So that doesn't.
I
check
mean,
out.
She didn't attack the Flurkin didn't attack Talos, so that doesn't attack
She's
all
not.
Skrulls. Could be any one of us could now
Yeah,
be a Skrull.
but the thing
But it
is,
wasn't. No, it's not
Rivers.
Skrulls that
Rivers-
they're afraid of, or that they attack. They attack.
Well, the Skrulls are afraid of them. So
Kree. I thought it was the Kree.
it might have been a creep.
just whoever they needed to apparently in that in that movie. So
River's just a bitch, so
Um,
she attacks people.
Well, damn. Well, damn.
If they're Skrull. I'm just kidding. I love you.
fair enough.
She's not entertained.
I will.
No. All right. Well,
We can do this next
so
Sunday if you want. Again, next Sunday
I'm
if
gonna
you're
hop
free.
off, but I'm down for next Sunday for sure. And if we're just doing it at
Are we
4
doing
p.m.
it at
Eastern
Eastern time?
time, for sure, then I'll be
4
awake for
p.m.
that. I was
Eastern time would be 1 p.m. our time, Abdo.
Yeah.
shut up. 4 p.m. West Coast time, 7
Figure it
p.m.
out.
Eastern time. Yes.
Yeah, and I'll let you guys
Sounds-
know because sometimes the wife likes me to take her out to dinner. So
I
sometimes
understand.
it's
I mean, you can go
I'm,
before or
I'm
after.
flexible with my time. I don't have to play disc golf if I don't have.
Well, we want
I
you to
don't
go
have to
pro,
either,
so
so
if you
I
go
am flexible
pro,
too.
you know.
If I am going pro, I mean, I do expect you guys to watch me. So.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I appreciate all three of y'all for being on call, guys. Make sure you give them a sub. It's Aaron, Intoxicated Gamer, Ghoststar54, Captain Bay, with 2 E's. But
thanks for having us on, Lefty. Check you guys soon.
Okay. Have a good day. I'm about to head off as well, guys.
You want to drop a link for somebody, Lefty? Aaron,
Actually, yeah. Yeah, Abdo,
what's
if
his
you want to
name?
drop, your link.
Rough.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's live too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can give him a raid, and it could be a secret invasions raid. That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh, secret invasion raid.
It is a secret as to who's invading him. He won't
Yeah.
know.
Matter of fact, yeah, I'm about to say secret invasions raid. Let's put that in there. I'm gonna put that.
I mean, he's gonna feel it. No. Wait. Oh no, God.
Invasions
What?
raid.
Well, you said you don't know who's invading him, but I mean, never mind.
I see what you did.
All right, later, boys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good
All
one.
right, have a good day.
All right.
But yeah, this has been fun. We should definitely do it again. I thank you guys so much for being on call, and yeah, I'm thinking I'm about to call it here. Did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to add?
Nope, all good on my end. Yeah, sorry about the in and out. 'Cause
It's all
I
good.
Had the thing with the house.
All good.
All good. Hopefully that works out for you guys.
Yeah. Good luck. Keep us updated on that, Ghost Dog, and do a vlog
I will.
when you actually get the house, which I think you will. Do a vlog.
We'll do what I can.
Yeah.
All right, River. And don't attack Captain Bay. He has a sport to play.
Try not to.
All right, guys. I'm headed
You
out of
just
here.
Hit my left hand because I don't need that.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that sub and that like, and I'll be back next week to discuss episode 4. Y'all take care. Have a great and wonderful day.
That's all, folks.
I actually thought you were stuck.